Like, share, subscribe. Shouts out to the Lions Den community. And don't y'all forget to subscribe to the podcast show. Link will be pinned in the top of the chat.
Just name the channel who could bang with us. I'll prove that you are smoking dust. GTV Media is top notch in this game, y'all. You failures only have yourself to blame, y'all. Ticket TV and a weapons make you suckers cry. Why don't you close your channel, crawl into a hole and die? Shout out to those who love our movement, no, we'll never flop until you get your mouth off LGBT. We are the underground outfit, y'all. We built this whole thing by ourselves, no in y'all. Independence up with self-preservation. If you can't take care of self, then how can you build a nation, y'all? Yup, we got that merch for the ladies and yes, we even got that merch for the babies and we got appliances and everything that you will need. We got some banging songs that make anemic haters bleed.
Hey, man, I salute everybody tapping on in. Let me get a 1 if y'all can hear me in the comments, man. Let me get a mic check real quick. 1 2 1 2. Press 1 if you guys can hear me. I'm going to get right into this video, man. I salute all of y'all for supporting what we got going on, man. I really appreciate y'all. Much love, honor, and respect to everybody in the building. Y'all can hear me? I bet. So today, David James, one of Diddy's co-conspirators, is going to be getting back on the stand. And again, all these people that you guys are seeing testify, except for people like the mother and things like that, they're pretty much all co-conspirators who have received, immunity or proffer deals with the federal government. Now, again, some of the people are going to walk free, and some of these people are going to probably have their punishment revealed after the trial is over with. So everybody's saying, oh man, how's everybody else getting off free? That's BS. You don't know that. The feds are working this way, in my opinion, to protect people and protect people's identity to have a fair trial. You know what I'm saying? And to get through a smooth trial. So I believe at the end of the trial, then you're going to hear about the sentences for all the other people, whether or not they cooperated to a certain level or not. And that's exactly what I believe is going on. I want to shout out to everybody who has supported my channel, man. Bro, y'all don't understand something, man. The love has been crazy. The hate has been crazy too. You know what I'm saying? People will hate when they see you doing big things and hate when you take certain positions, but it is what it is, man. You know what I'm saying? I still got love for everybody. You know what I'm saying? Regardless. But I appreciate everybody that support what we've been doing, man. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just speaking to you guys about how I truly feel. You know what I mean? I truly have zero respect for Sean Diddy Combs. I have zero respect for a person, a human being like that. I just don't. I believe in being a good person to people. I believe in treating people correctly in life. And if you don't like a person, I don't believe in you going and beating people up and doing all these unjustified things. You understand what I'm saying? And treating people like any kind of way, treating your artists any kind of way. I'm not with all that. And so that's just where I stand on it. But shout out to Cito. He came in with 2 different donations yesterday. Salute to you. Deborah. I can't even pronounce some of y'all's last names, so I don't even want to mess it up. But these people was in the Cash App yesterday. I want to shout them out because I already shout out to people who was in the PayPal last night. Deborah Gilinu, Gellineau. Salute to you for the donation, man. I really appreciate it. I apologize if I mispronounce your last name. If you see me in the chat, you can tell me how to pronounce it, and I'll get it right next time. Wanda Woods, salute to you with the donation in the Cash App. Tamika Buckley, salute to you with a donation in the Cash App. Gap Life, salute to you. I appreciate you. Gail Stark, Salute to you. I appreciate you. The donation. Dakia Hall. Salute to you. I appreciate you. Bridget Shedrick. Salute to you. Edward. Salute to you. All y'all. And as well, it was some more too. Hold on. Let me see. Chloe. I appreciate you. Wanda Cameron just now sent a $50 donation to the PayPal. Salute to you for dropping on in. I see you in the building. I'm much love and appreciation. Did I say Chloe? Yeah, Chloe. Salute to you with the donation. I appreciate you. Who else was in there? Let me see some. I think it was. Hold on. Who is this? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, Riley. I appreciate you for the donation in the Cash App. Salute to you, sir. Victoria. I appreciate you. Victoria Moore. I appreciate you in the Cash App with the donation. Also, shout out to Leah in the Cash App with the donation. So I appreciate all these people who have been supporting my channel already. We ain't even got like I wake up literally and I just got a whole bunch of bing messages in the Cash App or PayPal where people just sent donations overnight or early this morning before we even start the show. Support. So I salute all of y'all and just appreciating the content and the work that we putting in and showing y'all. Now today they're going back here with the snitch, David James, and he's going to get back up on the stand and do what he do, which is keep barking. Somebody says Gene Deal testifying. No, Gene Deal said he's not testifying. I told you guys that yesterday, but I think people don't listen. A lot of people just want to go up there and see what's going on in the courthouse. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. But I want to talk real quick before we get started with court today about Bruce Rivers. And shout out to Bruce Rivers, a criminal lawyer. He came out with another video last night. And in that video, he's just, bro, I'm going to let y'all hear what he had to say, and we'll react to it. Shout out to Bruce Rivers, man, the criminal lawyer. You need a criminal lawyer, call Bruce Rivers.
That an enterprise existed. That isn't going to be hard at all. What the elements are. Number one, they have to, I didn't do any of that. Basically, it was to get the bosses. A crime, basically. Not any, to put everybody under one umbrella. The mafia was big in this country. And it was a tool that the government used to put everybody under one umbrella. And when you do that, it makes it kind of anything you do under that umbrella becomes a crime, basically. Not anything you do, but anything that's criminal and done in furtherance of the organization.
He's talking about the RICO because there's still a lot of people that don't understand what a RICO is. And so he's explaining what the jury is going to look for when they're giving their instructions on the charges that Diddy is being charged with when they go in there to make their decision.
Even if you didn't do the things that are being accused, like somebody else did them, but you're in agreement with them, basically it was to get the bosses. So the boss can be over here, but all of his minions are over here doing all kinds of stuff. But the boss is standing alone and said, I didn't do any of that. Well, you didn't, but they were doing it for you, kicking up to you. So let's just talk about exactly what.
Now, the reason why I played that is because one of Diddy's friends did an interview last night. And in this interview, he went on, the guy who's been wearing the Free Puff t-shirt, he went on and he did an interview last night on News Nation. Now, in that interview he sat up there in the interview talking about how he was talking about how Diddy, it was Cassie that was paying this, Cassie that was paying that, and not Diddy. That's what he was saying on News Nation last night. Well, Bruce Rivers is breaking this thing down and saying, look, dog, you're basically implicating Diddy, because what you're saying is that Cassie was under Diddy. She was one of Diddy's artists. She was under Diddy, and they're going to show you that she was under Diddy. And so Diddy's the big dog. He's the boss, and she's the underdog. So you saying that is just incriminating Diddy even more, because everybody pretty much knows Cassie didn't have the means financially to be doing all these things at that time, because Cassie even said herself that she had no money. And even Diddy's team was like, Cassie ain't really had no money because she didn't have no albums out, none of that stuff. She was just living off Diddy, basically. Diddy was controlling her whole life.
People are watching this right now, right?
Yes, sir.
Let's assume they're open. They only know this guy as the superstar that he is, and you know what they have heard about him. He was having these parties. He was bringing people in from all over the place. Some of them wanted to be there. The allegation is some of them didn't want to be there, or they were sexually abused by him, and they couldn't say anything because of how powerful he is. What do you want them to know about the man that you know?
He didn't bring anyone in. He was following the case. And I'm quite sure you have, Cassie,
Yeah.
brought the people in. Cassie, that's what she did. So there's a sex worker never said that Sean brought them anywhere, did anything.
See, that's not true. The sex worker literally said in court that Diddy, again. So he says that on national TV yesterday, right? So this is why Bruce Rivers is saying what he's saying about the entire racketeering organization, where he's saying, hey, man, these people that's under the boss is doing all the dirty deeds for the boss. But that's why they created the RICO, so they can go get the boss. You know what I'm saying?
Elements are. Number one, they have to prove that an enterprise exists. That isn't going to be hard at all. So number one, there's an enterprise. Number two, that the enterprise affected interstate commerce. Well, he had two homes. He was doing business all over the world. So that's not going to be hard. Number three, that the defendant was associated with or employed by it was his enterprise. So number three, you've already got that done. Number four, the defendant engaged in a pattern of racketeering activity. Now, we'll get to that in a second. And the last one is that the defendant conducted or participated in the conduct of the enterprise through a pattern of racketeering activity through the commission of at least 2 acts of racketeering activity as set forth in the indictment.
Yeah, see, that's the part a lot of people don't understand. Right now, the government has a solicitation of prostitution. It's a slam dunk. They got all the sex workers right there. And it's even more sex workers than that. It's like 2 or 3 more than that. And they've got most of their names. If not, they probably got all their names by today. Right? So that solicitation of prostitution, maximum 10-year sentence for each count. And in federal court, depending on how many counts they run on it, because Diddy's facing 5 counts. He's got 5 counts against him. Depending on how many counts, the judge can run the sentences. He can run the years consecutively, or he can run them concurrent, right? Meaning he can stack them on top of each other, or he can run them at the same time. So let's say he gives Diddy, I give you 10 years for this one incident and 10 years for this other incident, but you can run them concurrently, right? Then that means that in 10 years, Diddy will be out because he's running both sentences at the same time. But the federal judge can also choose to put it consecutively. So if he doesn't like Diddy, he can say, nah, you're gonna have consecutive sentences. You're gonna serve this time consecutively. So I'm gonna put 10 on top of 10, and that's 20. Federal judge has to say so in whether or not he wants to do that or not. This is the law, right? So just to give y'all some history on that before we get into David James' testimony this morning. Now, back to this. So Bruce Rivers, basically, the solicitation of prostitution, I've already told you guys, that's a slam. We ain't even talking about that. The racketeering, all they have to do is prove 2 acts of racketeering. Out of all those acts of racketeering I showed y'all, the only thing the feds have to do, this is the crazy part, to get a conviction of racketeering, the only thing the feds have to do is prove 2 things of the racketeering in a 10-year span. 2 years. In a 10-year span, all they have to do is prove that Diddy abused, threatened, or coerced women and others around him to fulfill his sexual desires, either using the forces of, what does it say right there? Sex trafficking, forced labor, kidnapping, arson, bribery. Well, they've already got bribery and they've already got forced labor. Why do they have forced labor? Because the snitch went on the stand yesterday and said Diddy had him working 20 hours, 6 days a week. And he said one time, sometimes he'd work 3 straight weeks without no days off. and get 4 hours of sleep. He said Diddy had the whole security staff doing the same thing. That's forced labor. Also, the freak offs, where they saying that the freak offs lasted like 4 days sometimes. Forced labor. People are not like seeing this and understanding the law. They just talking like, no. This is the law. This is why when he gets found guilty and they give his ass life, everybody comes back and says, "Damn, Tick, you was right the whole time." I just read the law. I just read the rule book that they're going by. Right? Then the kidnapping. The kidnapping is easy to me because the kidnapping, all you have to do is prove that he restrained a person from and tried to subdue a person from escaping. Because in the elevator video, everybody says, "Well, why did she take the stairs?" Nigga, she was barefooted trying to put her socks on. She pressed the elevator door. She was barefooted trying to put her socks on with her bags in her hand, trying to sneak out. So, and she might not even know where the stairs was at. She went straight to the elevator and hit that button. And he drags her and starts dragging her back. And if you look at the video, which they're going to do closely, the reason why Diddy stopped dragging her by her hair back is because his towel started to become undone, and he didn't want to be having his ling-a-ling hanging all out in the hallway. So if you look, he let her go, redid his towel, and took those bags to the room. Right? So the elevator video, that's the most easiest. That's the part people don't understand. That's the most easiest. He tried to subdue her against her will. That is the definition of kidnapping. That's the definition of kidnapping. But forget that. Bribery. The bribery's already been proven. Why is that? Because all these people have been paid off and had non-disclosure agreements. The girl went in open court yesterday talking about how he paid her $30,000 to shut up for an incident where he hit her upside the head with a wooden coat hanger and choked her half out and gave her a concussion. And then he paid her $30,000. The money he paid Cassie to keep Cassie quiet about the situation when she filed a lawsuit, that's $20 million. Then the money he paid Jonathan Oddie when Oddie gets on the stand and shows his paperwork, that's another $5 million to be quiet. Then, so when you're talking about bribery, right? That's what we're talking about right there when we're saying bribery. Then the bribery when he tried to pay the worker at the hotel. And the worker's already testified that he tried to pay him money, right? The arson, that's where the Kid Cudi situation come in, right? When they talk about that car, that's going to be coming up soon. And then, again, the sex trafficking, I mean, we'll get to that in a little while. But, and obstruction of justice. Obstruction of justice is basically stopping people from going to the law and being able to use law enforcement to basically help correct the wrong that was done. So basically, they can easily get 2 sets out the RICO. So I mean, he in the RICO, that's got a life sentence max on it.
They have to prove at least 2 acts. He acted in a way that was at least 2 acts of racketeering activity committed within 10 years of each other. The government must show that the racketeering predicates are related and that they amount to or pose a threat to continued criminal activity. So when we look at the indictment, one of the first things they talk about is the enterprise. From at least 2008 through about the date of the filing, Sean Combs, the defendant, and others, known or unknown, were members of the associated criminal organization. And basically forced labor, interstate transportation for the purpose of prostitution, coercion and enticement to engage in prostitution, narcotics offenses, kidnapping, arson, bribery, and obstruction of justice. So if he's conducting his affairs all over the country, bringing in drugs, bringing in prostitution, preventing people from leaving.
Now, shout out to Leslie with the $50 donation in the Cash App. And also, shout out to Troy Lenses in the donation with the Cash App as well. I mean, the Cash App with the donation as well, excuse me. Salute to both of y'all with the donations. Y'all want to donate, the link is pinned at the top of the chat. Definitely let me know what y'all think. Let me know what y'all feel. So Bruce is just breaking down, all what's basically going on as far as the RICO Act, right? And we're getting ready to go back in the courtroom in just a second, you guys. We're getting ready to get back in the courtroom in just a second. Okay, so because they're having some words before the jurors come in. Now, let me give y'all some updates on what's going on right now. All right, we'll get back to Bruce Rivers in a little while. There's some important things going on in court right now. This guy right here. Now, everybody got to understand the feds did everything for a reason, right? This guy right here. Remember when the feds brought up the whole situation Cassie did with Suge Knight? And Cassie talked about the guns, and they were going with the guns to go see Suge Knight during the freak off when Cassie said that her and Diddy was in a freak off, and D-Rock came in and said, hey, man, Suge down there at Mel's Diner, you know what I'm saying, in L.A. Boom. And she said that Diddy and them gripped up, went and got all the guns, and they rolled down there in all black, ski masked up or whatever she said. Remember she said that? Do everybody in the comment section remember that when she said that in court? That's all I'm asking because I want y'all to be online with me at what I'm telling everybody right now. Do you guys remember that? Okay, y'all remember? I'm seeing some of y'all say yes. Y'all remember? Okay, so check it out, y'all. So this guy right here on the screen, again, he was on the inner workings. He was there during this time. Diddy's lawyers right now are trying to get him to not be able to testify about Suge Knight. Suge Knight's name, the government, something information that this guy has today about Suge Knight and Puffy, they're going into that too, right? So Diddy's lawyers are saying that they opposed to him testifying about the incident with Suge Knight. And they're saying he's going to mention D-Rock and say he was a friend of Biggie. He said that was decades ago and it's not relevant, right? So the judge says, well, you seem like you're previewing your cross-examination, right? And so David James actually comes into court, right? And takes a stand, right? And so the courtroom deputy then says, we're missing 4 jurors. It may be the subways. So right now it's 4 jurors missing. And so the judge says, well man, bro, we'll reconvene. So there's something going on right now, you guys. They're missing 4 jurors. Crazy work. Crazy work. Shout out to Arnell with the cat and the cash app with the donation coming through. $25 donation. I appreciate you. And she says, I love the channel. Take it. Hey, I salute to you. Appreciate it. You know, I appreciate all the support. You know what I mean? Much love. Right? And I salute you. And everybody else, like I said, to support my content and what I got going on, man. You know? So, yeah, much love to all of y'all. Okay, so, anyways, he's going to testify about that, and they don't even want to go into that about Suge Knight, something that happened, you know what I'm saying, with Suge and this, that, and the third. This dude is privy to some information that Diddy's lawyers do not want to be entered into court in front of them jurors. All right? So, this guy right here is fitting to snitch. He finna go. They said he broke down crying yesterday. Now, if you guys were in here, Lauren came in here and told us he broke down crying on the stand yesterday. Just broke down crying. You know what I'm saying? He's older now. He's 20 years older now than what he was then. You know what I'm saying? And people got to understand, like 20 years ago, it's going to be hard to like recall all the information at once. So you might recall, some people have better memories than others. Some people have photogenic memories. Some people don't. So I've seen people dog out certain people for not having perfect memories 20 years ago. But I mean, that goes across the board. You know, I heard Lauren LaRosa talking about that yesterday, and I totally agree with her. She said the white girl got up on the stand and was like, look, I don't remember every single specific detail myself from it was 20 years ago. But she says that Diddy's lawyers didn't hound her. They went after Don Richard. You know? So, I mean, that should let y'all know what it is. You know what I'm saying? But, yeah, man. Who knows what's going on? But they probably got a follow on those jurors anyways. That's what I believe. I believe they have a follow on those jurors, and they're going to wait and see what's going on.
Doing all, bringing sex workers in, preventing people from leaving. One of the accusations is that he would keep people there for days after being abused for days to let them heal, so that when they left, they didn't have any scarring, that kind of thing. And that's kidnapping. It's just stone cold kidnapping. So then they talk about, so they got the enterprise, and then the purpose of the enterprise. Operating a global business in the media, entertainment, and lifestyle industries, including, among other things, record labels, recording studio, an apparel line, alcoholic spirit business, marketing agency, and a television network and media company. There's no question that they've got an enterprise, that they have a purpose of the enterprise, and then the method and means of the enterprise. So I know this is kind of a little bit drawn out here, but it's very esoteric and kind of complicated. So I want you to understand exactly what we're talking about. So then Combs and other members and associates of the Combs enterprise wielded power and prestige over Combs' role at the business to intimidate, threaten, and lure female victims into Combs' orbit.
Shanika, salute to you with a $25 donation in the Cash App. I appreciate you. Much love to you, my sister.
So one of the things, you've got the actual physical side of things, and then you have the coercion side of things. So he was a media mogul. I mean, he just was. He had power, influence, and like one of the things that Cassie testified about, she felt she was powerless, and he held all the cards. He controlled her every move. He controlled her financially. He controlled her physically. He controlled her career. He controlled her at all different levels until she finally had enough. Now, if I'm his lawyer, I try to say that the businesses were legitimate businesses, and anything he did was not in furtherance of the enterprise's common goals or plan. That the freak-offs were nothing but consensual. Yeah, they were freak-offs. We're all freaks. I mean, we were all getting our... everybody wanted to do that, man. Hey, everybody wanted to be at a Diddy party because there's no party like a Diddy party, right? Give me a break. Oh, I bet it stinks at a Diddy party. Anyway, just gross. Honestly, I'm man on top. Get it over with quick. I can't imagine days and days of being penetrated by Mr. fucking Atlas. I mean, who wants to do that? Well, maybe Robert does, but Robert's one of our editors. He's a good guy. Anyway, what I'm trying to tell you is that you have this overarching enterprise, and then you have the common purpose of the enterprise, right? That's how the indictment's laid out. And here's why the other thing that bothers me about this whole indictment, I can't believe there aren't more people being charged because he didn't do this by himself. The only way people get out of being charged is by becoming witnesses. And then you got bought and paid for testimony. Members and associates of the Combs enterprise, including high-ranking supervisors, security staff, household staff, personal assistants, and other Combs business employees, facilitated the freak-offs, among other things, booking hotel. I mean, all this stuff, acting in furtherance of the conspiracy, right? But he's the only one charged. Combs subjected his victims to physical, emotional, and verbal abuse to cause the victims to engage in freak-offs. In other words, they weren't consensual. When Combs' authority or reputation was threatened by the possibility of negative publicity or legal or law enforcement action against him, including in about late 2023, following public allegations of Combs' crimes, Combs and members and associates of the enterprise pressured witnesses and victims, including through attempted bribery, stay silent and not report what they experienced or knew to law enforcement. Somebody could have an NDA, a disclosure agreement, but it cannot be part of the agreement that you don't go to the cops. That's illegal. That can never be a term of the.
Yeah, y'all smash the like button too. Appreciate all y'all that's in the building, man. Let me see. Rhonda, I appreciate you with the donation in the Cash App this morning. Come through with a $40 donation. Salute to you. Appreciate you. Man, he's breaking it down pretty much everything that I've been telling y'all. And, I've said this again, and everybody I think is going to see after this trial is over with. They said, and notice how they gave a nickname for the dealer, the alleged drug dealer. They called him One Stop. Well, I think I know who that is. But they're not going to say his real name because they want to protect him and his identity. They want to protect him until this trial is over with, right? Because bro, listen, he probably gave them everything. And that's why I told y'all this case is not going to be made off Cassie. Everybody was thinking this case is going to be made off Cassie. This case is not going to be made off Cassie. This case is going to be made off snitches, rats, people that was in this inner circle are the ones that's going to give the case. Why is that? Because those are the people that's going to go give all the logs. Those are the people that's going to give all the paperwork that's going to be entering. Those are the people that's going to show him where the hotels were booked at, where the flights were booked at, how the money was moved, his inner circle. So guys like this dude on your screen, he's a rat. Point blank, he's a snitch. These are the guys that's going to give up the entire enterprise. The other people are going to make their allegations. But the people on the inside are going to be the ones that give up the enterprise. And that's the part that I think so many people are missing in this entire case, is that part right there. And I think if people would have more open mind and, not be emotional about this thing, then they'll understand what I'm saying is 1,000% true. No, Gene Deal is not testifying. I've said this for 1,000 times. I don't know why people keep asking. In the comments, Gene said it yesterday. He's not testifying in this case. He was just up there to see Diddy, get dealt with for all the wrong he done to people over the years. Gene has said that multiple times. He said it yesterday on his own channel. People keep running. This is how you get lies ran with on the YouTube. It's crazy. It's crazy, man. And people run with this stuff. You still got people running around here right now. Is Gene testifying? Is Gene testifying? Where the hell have y'all been? It's crazy work. Crazy work. So, back to this case. The rats are the ones that's going to give it up. And everybody keeps saying, well, why aren't these guys getting punished? You guys have zero patience. This is another thing this case has taught me. A case that they told y'all was going to take 2 months, and you're in a week and a day. And everybody's like, oh, I don't see anything. Bro, my man, they didn't build Rome in one day. The way the feds do it is they have a chart. They build an entire house. And by the end of the trial, you will have seen the entire operation, how it was built. They're just showing you a lot of the elements of things, a lot of the beatings. Everybody say, oh, this is domestic violence. This is just beatings. Yeah, they're showing you all of this aspect. So there's a preponderance of evidence of this, a preponderance of evidence of that, a preponderance of evidence of that. Then when you see the whole thing, then you're like, damn, all them people's getting whipped? Damn. All them people's getting kidnapped? Damn. All them people's getting bribed? Damn. All them people, that's how they do it. That's the part y'all don't understand. So you have to wait. I keep telling y'all, these people are sprinting when this shit is a marathon. And it's crazy work that we have such impatient people in this world. So impatient. But I told you guys this from the beginning. Why did I know? Because I read the paperwork. The devil is in the details. It's going to be the snitches. Now, everybody keeps saying, why they ain't getting charged? People are speaking too fast. The feds can move how they want to move. What do I mean? Some of these people took charges or took, pleas, and they're going to be sentenced after Diddy's case is over with. Some people are going to walk away depending on the severity of their role. But some people are going to get charged and maybe get a year, maybe get 2 years, where they were facing 15 for RICO. They were facing whatever. You know what I'm saying? So you're going to see after the trial is over with is when they're going to start, in my opinion, the people who are getting, other people who are cooperating, who gotten deals to take less, that's when you're going to hear about them. You're not going to hear about them before because they're not trying to ruin this trial. The feds move like gangsters. And you know how you know the feds move so well? Look how they move when they raided Diddy's home. They ain't telling nobody. Because they knew that if they told somebody, and it would be tipped off. It would have ruined their entire raid. So the feds have moved like gangsters, and everybody thinks they're smarter or the feds are stupid. That's the craziest thing I've ever heard. Craziest thing I've ever heard. So, and then people say, oh man, no, they're torturing their witnesses. No, they're not. Diddy's team is not denying any other criminal activity they're doing. All they're saying is, hey, did you remember this? Or did you remember if the skillet hit the wall? Or you didn't say that in your paperwork. Listen to the words. So yesterday they were going at Don Richard. Hey, Don, you didn't say this in your paperwork, this and the third. Bro, they haven't read the law where it says that people who are a part of these type of crimes and witness these things can sometimes not recall instantly details that happened from events that happened years ago. It's 20-some years ago. They might not remember every single detail, but later on they do. But here's the thing. Diddy's team is not. They're trained to make you look bad in front of people who aren't smart. Let me repeat myself again. Diddy's lawyers are trained to make these people look bad in front of stupid people. If you're smart, you ain't worried about it because you understand exactly what's going on. You understand that Diddy's lawyers have not even went up there and denied any of these things. They didn't deny any of the things Don Richard said. They just asked her, oh, well, you didn't say this in the statement then. No. Did he do it or not? They ain't going to deny that because there's multiple witnesses. Think about it. Oh, you're doing this for money. Oh, you said Diddy did this, but you came back to him. Think. Now, yeah, Don Richard is going to look bad if she says Diddy did all these things and you still walk back over there to him. But think about this in real life. And this is why I tell people it's important to have a brain. Think about this, y'all. In America, forget America. Let's talk about the whole world. Just in general, because I want to make a big picture for everybody that's living around the world. Because we got people in other countries, UK, other countries that are listening too. In the world, how many people go back after they've been cheated on? A lot. In the world, how many women stay with their men after they beat their ass? A lot. Right? That ethers these people's point about, oh, well, she went back to Diddy afterwards. She went back. Ladies and gentlemen, I know what's going on. Let me cook. We got all day. I got time. Everybody in the comment section, the case started. Bro, I'm right here. We ain't going where I'm going. We got a lot of time together. Let me MC this thing. I know what I'm doing. See, you got to educate some people. You understand what I'm saying? You have to break it down in a layman's term and educate some people because you got a lot of people that's walking around here stuck on stupidity. Bro, Gene Deal's not testifying, bro. Cut it out. Gene Deal said himself he's not testifying. Stop coming in here with that foolishness. That's why, this is the reason why I do what I do. Gene Deal said himself yesterday he is not testifying in this case. What are you talking about? Oh, somebody else said Gene Deal said he's not testifying. End of story. Big shout to Gene. End of story. So, as I was saying to everybody, this is the reason why I break it down like this. Oh, look at her. She ain't shit. She went back to him. Once again, how many people in this world have went back to their wives or husbands after they've been cheated on? A lot. How many people in this world have stayed in relationships after they got their ass whooped? A lot. Case closed. That's normal activity in this world. People act like Don Richard going back to Diddy after he mistreated her and all the other shit is something different. People have been doing that their whole life. What are we we talking about? That's where you have to study the human mind. That's where we get real deep in conversations, right? And people don't want to do that. They don't want to go deep in those type of conversations like that. They don't want to go deep in those conversations. They don't want to run up on this fire, right? You had some dudes say, "Oh, ticket, man, why you talk about basketball?" I got a whole nother channel to talk about basketball. Run up on this fire, you get burnt, little nigga. So, the rat is on the stage, right? The rat is on the stage, you guys. And so, right? The government asked him, what about the physical violence between you, Mr. Combs? Oh, but what about the physical violence between Mr. Combs and Cassie? They asked him, did you observe that? He said, no, I did not. The government says, do you remember a blog post? He said, yes. I was in LA when he came back from a club. The government says, what did Mr. Combs say? He said that Diddy said someone was lying on him, saying that he hit Cassie at the club. He went through my browser history. No one had ever done that to me. So Diddy went through this man's browser history. That's crazy work. The government says, did Diddy give you instructions about Cassie? He said to bring her food at the London hotel, some Roscoe's. The government said, what is Roscoe's? He said some delicious fried chicken in Los Angeles. Right? So then the government asked him, what did you do for Mr. Combs in New York? He says, I'd bring him applesauce, Jell-O, Fiji water, his toiletry bag with ointments, just for men. We bought 40 items so he wouldn't call us later. I'd get a key, like as the Trump International. So you gonna tell me 20 years ago Diddy was using Just for Men? God, oh man. That nigga been using Just for Men for 20 years? Damn. That's crazy work. Diddy been using Just for Men for 20 years. That's crazy work. Tamika, salute to you. Much love to you. I appreciate it. You understand what I'm saying? Appreciate it. Cash out with a donation. She come through $20 donation. This man said this man been using Just for Men for 20 years. Dog. Oh, man. Hey, 55 years old. This man been using Just for Men since he was 35? Damn. Came to the party for the photos. Man. Show off my new outfit. Crazy work. So yeah, as I told you guys, this is where the case is going to be made right here. Through rats. The inner circle. And this is what I was trying to tell everybody in the paperwork. When everybody was like, oh, ticket, man, you hating on Diddy, man. He gonna get off. No, he not. You niggas ain't been reading the paperwork, nigga. His inner circle's all snitching pretty much. And wait till they come with the cherry on top at the end. The cherry on top gonna blow this thing up. Right? The only thing Diddy can try and do is say, hey, man, it was all consensual, man. Kind of hard to prove when you're going to have 30 other people saying something different. And you think the government's going to think that they're all liars? And then they got all these sex workers up here that they showed. These dudes up here looking like goddamn, boy, man. Crazy work. Crazy work, man. Right? Crazy work. So David James says that he would, get a key like at the Trump International. He says, I set up the medicine bag and the personal Louis V bag. And the government said, well, what was in that bag? David James says it was Viagra, ecstasy, perks. The government says, how did you go about replenishing these supplies? He said, I used my personal credit card and bad boy paid me back. Criminal enterprise. Criminal enterprise. See, I told you guys this, and this is what you guys got to understand, man. They're going to prove all these things through bank statements, all of this shit. I told y'all. So he told you. He says, yo, I had to use my personal credit card and bad boy paid me back. So what he's going to do is show his bank records to show bad boy paid him to go and obtain drugs. So they're showing a sex drug ring pretty much where he's using these workers to go pay and get there and get his drugs and all these other things. That's racketeering. That's what I try to tell people. Everybody was saying, I don't see nothing because they got Cassie and them coming up here. Cassie and them was only there to talk about the sex and the violence. That's it. Everybody got their own role. Cassie's talking about the sex, the violence. Carrie, sex, violence. Or the violence, Carrie, violence, right? Don Richard, violence. Now these guys, paperwork, transactions, how the organization worked, what our jobs were, what was our role in the criminal organization. He said mine was to go and make sure Diddy had all these drugs in his bag. I had to go pay for it. Bad boy paid me back. Boom. Right there. It's right there in the works. And to give y'all some breaking news, something that probably didn't tell y'all last night, there's reports that Diddy has reportedly hired a former DOJ officer to try to help him, keep as many of his assets away from the government seizing his assets after this case. Because remember, once the government wins this case, they're going to seize all Diddy's assets, even the ones he transferred to his mother's name. They already have that in the paperwork. They say that anything has something to do with this, doesn't matter who has it, they're going to seize it. Homes, cars, businesses. So they're about to seize Bad Boy and everything. That's about to be no more. See what I'm saying? So this is what you got to understand about what's going on. Right? So I told you guys, they're painting a picture. Everybody wanted to see this in one day. You can't do this in one day. This case takes a long time because you have so many people who are involved, so many victims, so many people they got to get through. And then every victim has a different set of witnesses, set of conspirators, co-conspirators. He's got 5 victims. So that's why I say everybody was stuck on Cassie. We haven't even got to victim number 2. We haven't even got to victim number 2. So think about that. You know what I'm saying? We haven't even got to victim number 2. We still on this board right here. And then they got more people in the inner circle. They got the chef coming to testify. Right? Then you're going to have more people. Pretty sure they're going to have the security staff that comes and testifies. And then there's going to be a couple surprises in there for y'all too. You know what I'm saying? So definitely going to be what it is. You know? And that's just all there is to it. You know what I'm saying? That's just all there is to it. You know? Period. So he said that Bad Boy would pay him back, y'all. Now, the government says, who paid you back? Now he says, usually Roger Bonds. So now he's linked Roger Bonds, Diddy's security guard, into the situation. Now y'all are gonna start seeing the links. And I know they got Roger Bonds snitching because you got drugs involved. So Roger Bonds gonna be on that stand too. You got money, you got drugs, and you got sex involved. Roger Bonds is gonna be on that stand testifying. He ain't trying to do 15 years in prison. He not trying to do 15 years in prison. Trust me. They're going to pull Roger Bonds up on that stand, and that dude going to tell it all. So the government says, did Diddy ever stay alone in a hotel? David James says he never did. He said usually Cassie, sometimes other women. The government says, did he ask you for things during a stay? David James said he texted me for an iPod or for food. Right? So he's telling y'all everything. Straight to the point. What's up, boy? Salute. Y'all go subscribe to my boy Straight to the Point in the building. He already know what it is, man. Shout out to the homie, man. Much love to you, brother. Appreciate you coming through supporting the channel, man. So these are the things that I'm telling y'all. And so this is how the case is going to be made again. It's not going to be made worrying about Cassie. It's going to be made through rats and roaches. The people in the inner circle is going to make this case. And I've been telling y'all this because it's been in the paperwork. So the government says, did anything strange ever happen? Now, David James said yes. He said in Miami, Diddy asked for an iPod from his house on Star Island. Now, he says that I drove it to his hotel and knocked on the door, but he said it was no answer. He said, I had the key. I set up the room. And he said, what did you see? And he said, I saw Cassie on the bed. I saw Cassie on the bed. Just somebody said Roger Bonds was just on the podcast. That was an old interview that was reloaded like it was new. Roger Bonds have not been on nobody's podcast recently. That was an old interview that was reloaded as if it was new. So everybody's been running around here and saying, oh man, Roger Bonds just did an interview. No, he didn't. That's an old interview that's been reran. Now that he's in court, it's like a rerun. And everybody thought it's a new interview. That interview's old as hell. So, David James says that he saw Cassie on the bed when he came in the room, right? So he said he said Diddy calls him Diddy calls him in Miami. He says he asked for an iPod from his house on Star Island. So he said he drove it to his hotel and knocked. No answer. He said, I had the key. I set up the room. So the government said, well, what did you see? And he said, I saw Cassie on the bed. And then David James says there was another person who sort of scurried away and the shower was on. He said, I thought Mr. Combs was in there. And the government said, how was she sleeping? And David James said, on her back. Diddy's lawyer says, objection. And the government says, sustain. But it goes on. It goes on. Right? The government says, what about the other person? David James says he was about 5'8", with long hair and a large endowment. He scurried away. The government said, did you ask anything? David James says, I wasn't hired to ask about personal affairs. So David James says that this dude had a big beefcake, a BBC, and he basically is testifying that he caught Cassie and a sex worker in that room. Now he's putting sex workers in the room. Government putting building blocks on their case. So that's what he said. He said he saw a BBC in the room. Now, which one of these guys he saw, I have no idea and don't care to know. But that's what he said. Right? So, and it's a couple more guys too that was working. So I don't know exactly which one it was, but that's what he said. Right? Straight like that. So, I mean, you guys are hearing it now. He's putting sex workers in the room. This is his inner circle. Shout out to Letitia in the Cash App with a donation. Oh, no, excuse me. Yeah, Letitia, salute to you. I appreciate you, Letitia. Much love to you. I appreciate you. Salute to you. You understand? Much love. In the Cash App with the donation. Salute to Letitia, y'all. She said, thanks for keeping us informed. No doubt. Salute to you. I appreciate you supporting my channel. If y'all want to donate, y'all can hit the Cash App, PayPal link pinned at the top. We in here cooking. And y'all make sure y'all smash the like button. Let's get over 3,500 likes. So now you guys are starting to see what's going on. They're putting the pieces together for y'all. So now what are they doing? They're putting sex workers in the room. Now what do they have? Multiple witnesses. The security guard, at first they said he witnessed a sex worker in the room at the hotel the day Cassie got beat. Now, Diddy's personal assistant, and that security guard is a current police officer. And his record was not brought into any kind of question by Diddy's lawyers because he has a perfect record pretty much as far as his work is concerned. So Diddy's lawyers could not do anything with him on the stand. He didn't even take the money. That dude could have took $100,000 and walked away. He ain't take it. That's crazy work. But anyways, though, so you got this guy right here now who worked for Diddy, and now he's saying that he saw a sex worker with a BBC in the room. What did they say they like Diddy? What did they say Diddy liked? To see sex workers with BBCs giving Cassie that work. So this guy testifies in open court that he walked in the room looking for something for Diddy because he had a key, because he's Diddy's assistant, and you understand what I'm saying? He seen the dude run to the shower, and the dude had a BBC. It's a sex worker, right? Now, the government asked him, and this is where that snitch comes back in. Remember I told y'all about the boy? And I told y'all, I said, bro, he disappeared. The boy who had to work, the boy who had the substances on him, the illegal substances. Remember I told y'all that? His name, I think this is him, but I don't know for sure. But if I bet all my money, I would bet it's him that they keep talking about, and they call him One Stop. Now remember, he's the one supposed to have the illegal substances, and he's supposed to be having the birth control pills, all that stuff. He's supposed to have everything on deck. Yeah, the Twite boy. Yes, sir. Y'all smash the like button. So the government asked David James, they said, well, did you ever pick up drugs for Diddy? He said, yep. He said he picked up those perks. He said at a pharmacy, sometimes he do it in his name. The government says, did you give him permission to use your name? He says, I don't recall that. The government says, was there a drug dealer? He says, yeah, his name is One Stop. Everybody call him One Stop because he had everything. Remember they told y'all this yesterday. They're building up the organization for y'all. This is what the feds do. They walk you down slowly, right? So the government says he met with a lot of people. Oh, shit, y'all. It's over with, bro. It's over with, bro. It's over with, man. It's over with, bro. Bro, oh, my God. This is unfucking believable, man. No. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. This mofo said in open court, they said he met with a lot of people. He said, yes, even former presidents. The government said, which one? He said, President Barack Obama. Oh my God. Oh shit. Oh shit. Oh fuck. Oh, this mofo and oh, the feds on this shit. Oh man. Oh my God. What the freak? Oh my goodness gracious, bro. Oh shit, bro. I'm rock right now, bro. Oh man. What? What? And Adi was saying that shit. Adi was sitting there saying all these people's names. Oh shit. Oh, what the what is going on? What am I watching here, bro? I told y'all this trial was gonna be worth the price of admission, and mofos didn't want to listen, bro. Mofos, this boy right here, he gonna have to go on forever hiding, bro. He gonna have to go on forever hiding mentioning these names, bro. There ain't no way, bro. There ain't no way, man. There ain't no way, bro. Ain't no way, bro. What? Oh man. Get out of here, bro. Oh my God. Unfreaking believe, bro. I'm rocked out of my seat right now, bro. I'm rocked out of my seat. Hold on, y'all. So let me get that to y'all again. So he says, I don't recall that. If they asked him, did you ever pick up drugs for Diddy? He said, yeah, perks at a pharmacy, sometimes in my name. He says, now I'm starting. Is this what the whole Michelle and Barack things? Man, hold on, bro. Man, my mind is racing right now. Hold on. Let me read this to y'all again. So it says, did you ever pick up drugs for Mr. Combs? He said, yeah, perks at the pharmacy, sometimes in my name. He said, did you give him permission to use your name? And he said, I don't recall that. And the government said, was there a drug dealer? And he said, yeah, one stop. And then the government says, he met with a lot of people? And David James says, yeah, speaking of Diddy, says, yeah, even former presidents. And the government said, which one? And David James says, former President Barack Obama. And the government says, what was your understanding would have happened if you hadn't done hadn't done these things? And Diddy's lawyer says, objection. And the judge says, sustain. Why in the hell did he bring up Obama's name? But hold on, we got to go deeper than this. Hold on, y'all. They can't just leave us right there. The government says, did you ever take X? He says, yes, I was drinking Ciroc. I took X. I was Diddy bopping. I told y'all, man. Remember Mark Curry said they was spiking those drinks? Everybody got mad at me, bro. Everybody got mad at me, bro. Everybody got mad when I said, remember when Mark Curry, who worked with Diddy as an artist for years, Mark Curry said that at the freak offs, that they was, he said, yeah, the freak off party, he said, yo, we go to the club. He said, the bartender would tell us, yo, don't touch those bottles over there and only touch those bottles over there. And he said, that they had the girls all slippery after they drunk the bottles. And then he said that he said the girls would be so slippery, they'll be opening their mouth and they'll be popping pills in their mouth. Pop pills, pop pills, pop pills. Crazy work, man. What the bro, this Diddy shit is deep, nigga. Damn. So they asked him, they said, did you ever take X? He said, yes. I was drinking Ciroc. I took X. I was Diddy bopping. Remember everybody used to say they was doing a Diddy bop? The government says, what do you mean? Diddy bopping. He said, I was vibing. The government says, did you speak with Diddy about it? David James says he was reviewing footage of the party. David James said, we had a videographer who filmed the parties. He asked me, hey, Playboy, was that you dancing around at the party? I said, yes. And he said, bro, it's over with, bro. Diddy's done. That nigga going to prison forever. I told y'all niggas. Blackmail like a motherfucker. David James says they had a videographer who filmed the parties. He asked me, hey, Playboy, was that you dancing around at the party? Remember, he had already got some X and was drinking Ciroc. So I guess the X was in the Ciroc. But he said, I said, yeah, that was me. And he said, Diddy told him, Diddy looked at him and told him, I'm going to keep that video in case I ever need it. Diddy's done. It's over with. The nigga done. The government said, meaning of that? He said that I'd be embarrassed. He vouches for what Cassie said. When Cassie said that Diddy showed her a video on the plane and used it as blackmail. Diddy's going to prison for life. I told you, mofos. Y'all don't want to listen to me? His own inner circle snitching on this nigga and giving crazy type of goddamn statement against him on the stand right now. It goes on. The government says, did anything ever go missing? David James said, they said a bracelet was missing. Uncle Paulie, now Uncle Paulie was one of the security. He said, Uncle Paulie came to my hotel room and searched my belongings and those of my girlfriend at the time. The government says, could you have said no? Diddy's lawyer said, objection. Right? The judge says, move on. Crazy work going on here, y'all. Crazy stuff going on here, man. This is unbelievable, bro. Crazy work. Crazy work, bro. Man. What the freak is going on, bro? Now, you listen to that, what he said, and now go back and listen to Jonathan Oddie. Go back and listen to Jonathan Oddie and all the things Jonathan Oddie was saying in that video. Man, boy, this shit crazy, bro. Now, everybody was looking at Jonathan Oddie like he was a goddamn fool. Bro, there ain't no way they're putting Jonathan Oddie on the stand, bro. They put him on the stand, bro. They said you got to sell your soul to be in the industry. Shout out to Chantel from Canada with the donation. She said, you think Diddy's kid would take the stand? Hell no. You think they're trying to put them on cross? Shout out to Chocolate Lioness with the donation. She said, David just opened Pandora's box. Well, he opened it. There ain't no doubt about that. He opened that. That's going to be on the news all day long. Shout out to Garrett Queen 69. She said, "You're the best ticket." That's going to be on the news all day long. And the government's smart. I'm going to tell y'all something. Barack Obama might not have did anything wrong. But you know what? You know what the government knows? The government's smart as freak. They know that boy told them that. He probably told them more. But guess what? They're going to stick right there on Obama's name. You know why? Because remember, Diddy had that whole campaign vote or die with Barack Obama. So I'm pretty sure him and Obama did meet up. May have been just an innocent meeting, but doesn't matter. You know why? Because who was the arch enemy number one of Barack Obama? Donald J. Trump. So you think that he's going to pardon Diddy now? Hell no. The government think 10 steps ahead of you at all times. Straight up. Straight up. Straight up. I'm trying to tell y'all this. Man. Unbelievable work, man. Unbelievable work. Unbelievable work. Crazy, bro. Man. What did this dude just do in the stand, bro? He just set it off, bro. He just set it off, bro. He just set it off, bro. He just set it off like Queen Latifah, y'all. There ain't even no question about it. He set it off like Queen Latifah, red beam on a Nina. So the government asked him now. The government said, "Did you ever had to take a lie detector's test?" He said, "Yeah." This dude said he had to take a lie detector's test. The government said, "Who was present?" He said, "Just me and this gentleman." He said it was very intimidating. They put monitors on my head, on my chest, and on my hands. The government says, "Could you refuse?" He says, "Not to keep my job." The government said, "Did this happen again?" David James says, "Yes." When Mr. Combs said a watch of his had been stolen. The government said, "And what was the result?" David James says, "The gentleman told me I seemed nervous. I said, I am." I said, "Sure, I'm nervous," is what he said. So did he make these mofos take lie detectors tests? God, dog. David James says, and here comes another snitch that's coming up for y'all. And I know where she gonna be at, but there's another snitch in here, y'all, that's gonna come up in this trial. He said once Capricorn Clark. Now Capricorn Clark is a part of this allegedly part of this inner circle. And I believe she's gonna testify in this case too. He said once Capricorn Clark had to take a lie detector's test to prove she wasn't a part of the heist of Mr. Combs' jury. And the government says, was there an incident at Mel's Diner with Suge Knight? The government don't bring up nothing without having an answer for it, y'all. And David James says, yes, there was an incident. He says, I drove the Silver Navigator to get cheeseburgers there. David James says, D-Rock said, that's mother effing Suge Knight. He went over there and said, what's up? He said David James went right up to Suge and said, what's up? And he said Suge did not recognize him. And David James said, D-Rock said, I'm Biggie's boy. And the government said, what happened next? And David James said, we noticed 4 black SUVs to different sides of the parking lot. D-Rock was about that life. They said they seen 4 black SUVs on Dip. Boy, they're going to have Suge Knight back on the news again tonight. They going to call Suge Knight up again tonight. Boy, it's all coming out. It's all coming out. I told y'all these dudes going to rat. Boy, the internet is going crazy right now. I'm looking at the internet. The internet's going nuts. And shout out to Yolanda coming through with a $100 donation in the Cash App. She said, this is crazy. Bro, listen, I try to tell y'all. This. He said he noticed 4 black SUVs to different sides of the parking lot. David James says, I saw someone hand Suge Knight a gun. Oh, shit. It got real in there. 4 SUVs pulled up. He says he saw somebody hand Suge a gun. D-Rock said, we got to get out of here. David James said they drove back to the house. And the government said, what did you find there? And David James said, Cassie was crying. Diddy got in the vehicle. I saw 3 guns on his lap. David James says, I felt calm because we've been in a silver vehicle. Now a black one. They wouldn't see us coming. The government says, what did you find at Mel's Diner? David James said, when they went back with them guns, Suge Knight had left. Diddy said, yo, drive around the block. Man, bro, the whole internet got their popcorn on this shit, bro. This is crazy work, bro. I tried to tell y'all. Everybody was like, hey, nah, man, this shit is crazy. The government said, what did you decide? And trust me, this probably going to lead to more problems for Diddy because this may lead into the whole Tupac thing. And you got old boys sitting over there, Keefy D, sitting over there just waiting. Man, the government said, what did you decide? David James says, to leave the company. He said, they offered me other positions, but I just wanted to leave. My life was at risk. The government says no further questions. The judge says, Mr. Anglifo? Diddy's lawyer says to David James, well, you didn't tell all this the first time. So now Diddy's lawyer's got to say he's a liar too. This dude right here, he wasn't built for that shit, bro. They strapped up, man. He wasn't. I told y'all, man, niggas rats, man. He wasn't built for that shit, bro. He wasn't built for that shit. And they saying people's names. Notice how they say people's names. It's like cliffhangers in this shit, bro. They don't leave it alone. Eric, just when you thought they left the Suge Knight situation alone, nope, we're going to double back. We're going to double back to that. Just when you think they're going to leave a situation alone, they not. Like, for example, the Obama situation. I believe that may come back up. They don't just say stuff. I noticed that. They don't just say stuff and leave it there. It just comes back at a different point, maybe a different day, but it comes back. Bro, that shit is crazy. So they got Diddy. They got multiple witnesses with Diddy with guns, drugs, deals being made, identified drug dealers as one stop. Dude said he did transactions on behalf of Diddy to go get the drugs. Bro, they've already got the RICO. This nigga going to prison for life. I told y'all that nigga own Inner Circle. Now wait till they call up those security guards and they start snitching. And those other staff members, they start snitching. The nigga going to prison. Everybody said, I'm sitting up here capping. No, I'm telling y'all the truth. I don't have no reason to cap. I told y'all, it was all in the paperwork. The pretrial paperwork was showing all this shit. The devil is in the details, but they don't want to listen. They don't want to hear me though. You understand what I'm saying? Shout out to Gary in the Cash App with the donation. He came through $50 donation in the Cash App. Salute to you, brother. And he said this shit is like a movie, bro. This is a movie, bro. Bro, yeah, hey, this is a movie, brother. A movie, brother. To the person who says, what does the Suge Knight witness meeting with Suge Knight have to do about sex trafficking? You're not listening. It's not just sex trafficking, it's racketeering as well. Sex trafficking is one of the 3 counts. You guys got to understand the law and what's going on. Racketeering is a criminal organization. So if you look at his counts, he got 3 different counts, but he got 5 counts now. One of them is racketeering. Sex trafficking is a whole different one. People don't understand that. You have people on YouTube that don't have no brains, just like the brain and mind of a flea. No brains. He's got multiple charges. So racketeering, that's a whole different charge where you have all these things under racketeering: the crime, the violence, the arson, the guns, the drugs. That's racketeering. Now they're saying that Diddy used part of this in order to achieve his sex trafficking ring. And he's being charged with solicitation of prostitution, and they showed you who the male sex workers were. Do you understand now? Those are all different charges. This is why I show y'all this on my channel. That's count number 3. Transportation to engage in prostitution. These are different charges. You guys don't have a brain. Oh, what does this have to do with anything with sex trafficking? Nigga, use your brain. This is under the RICO. If you read the RICO, the RICO, racketeering, is for organized crime, where you have a boss, and then everybody under the boss follows the instructions of the boss and commits all kind of criminal acts. Read it right there. Count 1, racketeering conspiracy for decades. The grand jury charges. Overview. For decades, Sean Combs, a defendant, abused. That's why they're showing all the violence. Threatened. That's why they're showing all the threats. And coerced women and others around him to not only fulfill his sexual desires, but protect his reputation and conceal his conduct. To do so, he relied on employees. They're showing you his employees. Resources, money, all these other things. And influence, his power, his ability to be able to have such a big name and be influential in the culture of multifaceted business empire that he led and controlled, creating a criminal enterprise whose members and associates engaged in and attempted to engage in, amongst other crimes. One of them, sex trafficking. The other one's forced labor. This is all under the RICO. So forced labor, the man went up there and said Diddy had him working 20-hour shifts. He worked 3 straight weeks without no free days, 20 hours a day, 4 hours sleep. The sex workers said the same thing. Sometimes they have 4-day free calls with no rest. Forced labor, kidnapping. You watched that already on the videotape. Arson, they're going to talk about that with Kid Cudi. They ain't finished with that. They're going to double back to the arson. Bribery, paying people off. You seeing all these people getting settlements paid off. And obstruction of justice. This nigga going to prison. All they got to do is prove 2. All the government got to do is prove that Diddy team did 2 of those things in a 10-year span. And that nigga getting life. Just for the racketeering. So when y'all say, hey man, what does this have to do with sex trafficking? Niggas don't even know the law. Y'all not even reading. It's crazy how you say this every single day and people don't understand that, bro. This is why our world is in the position it's in now, because we have a bunch of stupid people running around here stuck on stupid. That's crazy work. Let's keep going, man. Let's keep going, bro. And I told all of y'all this case was going to be made off of rats, but y'all didn't want to listen. Everybody worried about Cassie. Cassie, it ain't about Cassie. It's about his inner circle turning on him. And this goes back to how you treat people, right? So the government has sat down with Diddy's lawyers on this dude's helmet. So Diddy's lawyer tells David James, he says, well, you didn't tell us this the first time. David James said they told me to stop, to not say anything that would incriminate me. Diddy's lawyer says, look at the notes from your interview, read it yourself, and then look up at me. He says, okay. Diddy's lawyer says, how did you recognize Suge Knight? David James says, I listen to hip hop. Diddy's lawyer said, were you drinking or smoking pot? He says, no. Diddy's lawyer says, your mind was clear? He says, as clear as it could be, working 20 hours a week at 4 a.m. God, dog, he cooking. He cooking. Diddy's lawyer on the stand right now. Diddy's lawyer says, D-Rock opened the door. Suge Knight is a few cars over. David James says the window was open. He cooking Diddy's lawyer. Can't trick him. Can't see, this is the problem you have. You run out of lies. And when you run out of lies, now the shit gonna come back and get you. Because all your inner circle have crumbled right in front of you. And I told all of you guys, rats and roaches was gonna get his case up. All those people. And everybody was talking about, oh, Cassie, she should be charged too. Cassie was given a proffer. Cassie was a part of the criminal organization because she committed crimes as well. Her participating was help committing crimes as well, but Cassie got immunity because of her testimony. They probably took into effect that she was a victim as well, in this case in certain ways, as well as she was a co-conspirator in certain ways. But probably with her lack of a criminal history and things like that, they gave her a slap on the wrist and walk away. She gave up everything she knew. So they already knew that they was going to come back with that stuff on the stand. They was privy to all that information. They're not worried about that because they knew they was going to get to this. And this right here was going to seal the deal. And I try to tell these bums, but they don't want to listen to me. They can't mentally get on my level because I'm on a whole different stratosphere. So when people say, hey, well, Ticket, why did Cassie stay all those years? Why do these people wives stay when they get the hell beat out of them all the time? Ask the question. Oh, Ticket, man. Well, why did Don Richard go back to Diddy? Why do some people go back to work every single day when they boss talk to them like shit? They need the money. They need the money. That's your field of profession. They need the money. And getting a job all the time ain't easy in other fields of profession when you're specialized in a certain field. And I told you guys, when you get in that industry, they heard about it. A lot of people sell, they sold. This has been talked about in this case, where people have accused Diddy of using that and saying, hey, you got to do this, man. I mean, this is what they do in the industry, dog. You know what I'm saying? I told y'all, he had been accused of that in them lawsuits. Dude said that Diddy had propositioned him with homosexual type activity, saying that everybody does it to get to be in the industry. Look at those allegations, bro. So now when you think about this stuff, and then you go back and you think everybody was saying Jonathan Aldi was crazy, his testimony was crazy. Nah, these people was crazy because they didn't have an open mind to look at this dude and say, hold on, let's see what he's talking about. Now, y'all smash the like button, share the video, like the videos. Y'all coming on in. I'm cooking straight like that. I'm cooking like bruh's barbecue. Tastes so good, make you want to hug your mama. Straight like that. Right? So he says the window was open. Now, David James says that Biggie's boy D-Rock said, right? I'm Biggie's boy. And then he said Suge recognized him and gave him a dap. So he says Suge gave D-Rock dap. Diddy's lawyer said, what's a dap? David James said it's a handshake. Diddy's lawyer said, did you leave D-Rock at the diner? Why are you smiling? He says, because that's a crazy question. Why would I? He cooking Diddy's lawyer on the stand. Remember they talking about Diddy's lawyer's cooking? Oh, he cooking Diddy's lawyer today. Diddy's lawyer says, well, didn't you leave D-Rock at the diner? David James said, man, that makes no sense. He cooking Diddy's lawyer up there. Cooking his ass. So then Diddy's lawyer says, I'm not asking what makes sense. I'm asking, did you? He said no. Diddy's lawyer says, you say you saw Cassie and Diddy. He said, yeah. Mr. Combs told me to drive. Oh yeah, this a good snitch right here. This dude right here, he said, the government, they put a credible rat up here. He's a credible rat. He's a rat that's gonna stand on business. He ain't folding under no pressure. He's like, man, y'all ain't put me in prison. I don't give a damn what none of y'all say. I ain't going to prison for none of you hoes. Straight up. He standing on business on the stand right now. He said, y'all ain't finna do me like y'all did Don Rashad yesterday. Yeah. I'm finna tell it all. That fool went up there and said, I'm gonna sing. It all makes sense now. Everything makes sense. This man said he had the ex with the Ciroc at the party and started Diddy bopping, and Diddy used the video to blackmail him and said, yo, I got the video of you. That's crazy work, and y'all seeing this. And now everything Mark Curry said, and who knows where's Mark Curry at? Because we ain't seen or heard from Mark Curry in a while. But remember, Mark Curry was the one that came out and talked about that whole situation with them bottles. Remember?
I want to get your opinion. You know, you was around Puffy, you was on Bad Boy. You know, looking at this lawsuit, Cassie, she claims that her and Diddy had freak-on sessions where they would get a male prostitute.
You talking about the freak-on sessions where they used to do in the studio and all of that over different entertainers' houses and stuff? Where they be having them parties where they won't invite you to? And they be like, we having a party tonight, but this ain't your kind of party. You be like, yeah, I ain't going. I don't want to go. Freak-off parties, when you go in there, they be, yo, let me tell you something. We used to go in the club. We go into the nightclub, right? And we go and get to the VIP. All of these girls come around the VIP, and they just be standing there. And like, let me tell you something, man. I'm going to get back with you. We got to rewind this back. We used to go to when we go to the club, we used to have these bottles, right? And on this bottle, they be regular Moet bottles. On them bottles right there, they've been have something to make the girls be real slippery and all of this kind of stuff. So when you get up, they be like, don't touch them bottles right there and only drink them bottles right there. So we already knew what the drill was. You just don't mess with them bottles, right? Then all of the girls is in the club after a while. They all running, opening up their mouth like little birds. Just run around just popping pills in their mouth. Pop, pill.
Told y'all. And now this dude, he said that he did that, and he actually drunk the drink and was Diddy bopping. This fool said he was Diddy bopping and said Diddy seen him on the video and said, man, was that you on the video? And he said, yeah, that was me. He said, Diddy said, yeah, I'm keeping that video in case I need it. That's crazy, bro. Crazy work. He said he had the X in it, in a drink. That's what he said. He had the X in the drink. That's crazy, bro. He had the X and the drink at the Diddy party, and he said he was out there Diddy bopping. And said Diddy came up to him and was like, yo, that's you right there on the video? Diddy, that's you? He was like, yeah, that's me. He said, yeah, Diddy said, yeah, I'm gonna keep this video right here. That's crazy, man. So those rumors were true. Bro, this shit is crazy work, bro. Never seen nothing like it ever before in my entire life. Never. When I say ever, ever. All right? So Diddy's lawyer says, did you see Cassie with Diddy the night that they was talking about Suge Knight? And so he says, right? The snitch. He says, yeah, Diddy told me to drive. And Diddy's lawyer says, you don't know where Diddy got the guns, do you? He says, man, I didn't know we had guns until then. And then Diddy's lawyer said, have you ever been in a situation like that? He said, no. Diddy's lawyer said, you didn't stay? You didn't say, I don't want to drive the Suge Knight with guns? He said, no. Diddy's lawyer says, what exactly did you do before you got this job? He said, I was a door-to-door salesman and then a personal assistant. And then Diddy's lawyer says, now you're going with guns to confront someone? David James said, it's not ideal. Bro, I'm telling you right now, bro, that witness is not backing down to this dude's on the stage no more, bro. Because now all these people worked inside with Diddy. So let me tell you something. When you work with a guy on the inside that long, you studied every aspect of his life. You know how he moves. Period. And so this dude right here, you looking at this dude? Yeah, man. He looked like a snitch. He looked like a snitch. He looked like he ready to snitch right now, which is what he doing. Shout out to D Nice with the donation. Says, thank you, Ticket, for everything you're doing to make most sense. To make the most sense. You're amazing. You're built from a different cloth. I guess now we know why the black lawyer opted out. He has morals and values. Yeah, he got ethics. Shout out to Dog Mom Laura with the donation. She says, Ticket, your comments on this case are right. Thank you. Salute to you. Shout out to B Will with the donation. Shout out to Wayne Simpson with the donation. He said, Diddy lovers be acting like Ray Charles. Yeah, they be closing their eyes singing, bro. Shout out to Nick Tri-State with the donation. He said, crazy, crazy-ish in my Uncle Murder voice. Shout out to Wayne Simpson again with the donation. He said, you got to be smarter than the criminals you hunting. Man, I'm trying to tell you, but see, this is what happened. Diddy had all these people working for him and doing his things. And Diddy thought because he had dirt on these people that they would never, ever talk. And they wouldn't have talked if it wasn't for Diddy's stupidity with the Cassie situation. These people would have took this stuff to their grave. If Diddy would have paid Cassie, like I told everybody, before she dropped that lawsuit, because Cassie waited to the last day. She waited to the last day that law was going to expire. And Diddy did not want to pay Cassie. Diddy could have paid Cassie $10 million. And then she filed a lawsuit. He ended up paying her 20. And she was suing him for 30. If Diddy would have gave her the $10 million and paid her like he paid everybody else, you'd have never heard about none of this stuff. These people took this stuff to the grave. But now, since that came out and it got all these people investigated, and you had Lil Rod snitching, telling everything, because Diddy didn't pay Lil Rod, allegedly. And Lil Rod was heated that he didn't get his money for the work on the Love album. Lil Rod, from what you call was saying last night, I was watching him on at Academics having a conversation. Myron from Fresh and Fit, Myron said they told him straight up over there that it was Lil Rod who gave out the whole layout of Diddy's crib. Lil Rod put the whole federal government on game on how to take down Diddy. And that's why Lil Rod was up there at that courthouse on day one to see it through. Right? So when you got guys like this who ain't come from that lifestyle, and these are the mistakes that Diddy made. You got guys like this, bro, you know? And Lil Rod said Diddy was promising them things, promising them houses, promising them cars, promising them awards, promising them fame, and not following through with none of those promises. And then having them do homosexual acts and all these other things. You know what I'm saying? You got this man out here allegedly, servicing dudes and stuff like that. Like I said before, man, I mean, it's crazy. It's crazy work. And Diddy's lawyers up here looking stupid because they don't have nothing. I mean, they literally cannot attack this guy's character because they would have already did it. He's a square dude. And if you're Diddy, you got these square dudes. That's why I told you I knew Diddy was going to prison. Diddy got these square dudes doing his dirty work. This dude, the other white boy that was had the drugs. Diddy got all these dudes doing his work. Bro, they gonna snitch. If it ever came down to the come down, you thought they wasn't gonna snitch? Bro, you got hardcore, cold-blooded gangsters that's out here ratting. I'm talking about niggas that's in the streets for all these years. It's just like Young Dolph said. Everybody screaming gang, gang, gang. Them folks come get you, they gonna tell on the whole gang. So that's what's going on right here. That's why some people say they do their dirt all by their own. Because you can't snitch on yourself. But now all these people have turned now. And now all of them to save their ass. This dude, he ain't gonna get no time. I guarantee you this dude ain't gonna get no time. Now, he probably was facing 15 years just off the RICO if he did not snitch. Fed charge, RICO, because he's a part of the racketeering organization, right? They don't have him on sex. They don't have him on the prostitution. They got him under the RICO. So under the RICO, he was probably facing 10 to 15 years. He said, man, ain't no way I'm doing no 10 to 15 years. This dude probably like, what, 41, 42, 43 years old? 44 years old, maybe 45. He ain't doing that. He like, man, you crazy. He probably got a family now, kids, moved on, all these other things. Bro, these people ain't doing that, man. They ain't doing that time for Diddy, man. They're like, man, bro, I'm snitching. And he up here on the stand going hard body. So, and the one thing I noticed, you guys, about this case, the feds have not let one thing sit on the table and not come back to it. I thought we was done with the Suge Knight stuff. Nope, they came back to that. So the feds have drawn up a huge picture and they're putting together a puzzle, and you can see anything they say, they coming back to. So they say, okay, we talk about that, we come back to that. So you can see they're gonna come. So the Suge Knight thing the other day, I thought that was over with the other week. Nope, they came back to that. But what they did was they have more than one person to validate these stories and give you different perspectives. That's what the feds is doing. So the thing when they mention Obama, now I truly believe the feds gonna come back to that in some way, shape, or form in this case. Because they ain't gonna just say that and just drop that right there. They have to come back to that and put context on that. So maybe the security staff or somebody else, they may ask them questions about that, but it's gonna get funky. Point blank, period. Right? So Diddy's lawyer says, you knew how to get to Mel's Diner, right? David James said, I frequent there all the time. Diddy's lawyer says, you've never seen guns before, right? He said, nope. Diddy's lawyer said, this is a radical departure from your job description. Is that an understatement? David James said, it's an understatement of the day so far. Diddy's lawyer said, do you have immunity? David James said, ask my lawyer. I have some type of agreement. Diddy's lawyer said, a proffer. I told y'all. Didn't I tell everybody? Ticket, take a bow. Didn't I tell y'all that these dudes snitched? And Diddy's lawyer wants to say, hey, you're snitching so you don't get in trouble. And he's going to say, hey, man, how would I be in trouble if Diddy didn't do nothing wrong? I come from a square-ass background. I'm a personal assistant doing door-to-door shit. Now, all of a sudden, I'm stuck with Diddy, and we out here at the party. I'm popping X, doing Diddy bops, and going on missions. Come on, bro. And so, didn't I tell y'all this? I told y'all. I told the whole internet, them niggas all went against me, nigga. And I told them niggas, all these co-conspirators took deals. This nigga just admit on the stand in open court that he took the deal. A proffer agreement. Why did I tell y'all this? Because I said it a million effing times on this channel. I'm the Brett the Hitman Heart of this shit, nigga. I'm the best there is. I'm the best there effing was. I'm the best there effing ever will be. Says it right there on the screen. By contrast, the government has provided detailed proffers of each victim's anticipated testimony and corroborating evidence. That let me know everything I needed to know. That Cassie and all these other people that were involved, everybody said, oh man, no. They were all going to be charged and they were given an option. Snitch or stand beside them and get charged. Get down or lay down. And when the feds come, them mofos all got down with the feds. And I told y'all this. So when they was like, oh man, look at Cassie, man. Cassie don't mean nothing. It's the inner circle, those workers, all those other people. They're the ones that was gonna make this case. And I told y'all this, but they didn't want to listen to me. They talking about, oh, I'm hating. No, nigga, I'm just smarter. Period. And that's a fact. Let's keep going. So Diddy's lawyer says, oh, you took a proffer. And then Diddy's lawyer said, you didn't tell anybody about your proffer agreement? David James said, I only told my wife. Diddy's lawyer said, did you meet with the government this morning? David James said, yes, briefly, about what might come up in cross-examination. Diddy's lawyer says, did the male diners incident come up? He says, not that I recall. Diddy's lawyer said, is this morning, what did you talk about? David James said, we talked about your style. And then everybody in the courtroom started laughing. Boy, they got Diddy's lawyer ass to the T. Diddy's lawyer said, I'm dying to ask you what they said, but I won't. He got him. This nigga cooked. He cooked Diddy's lawyer. He stir-fried Diddy's lawyer on the stand. Stir-fried. And this is what happened. So this is how y'all know. Diddy, he had intelligent, hard-working people. Bro, let me tell y'all something, man. Now, I want to say something. Diddy's the biggest goddamn idiot known to mankind. I'm going to tell y'all why. Diddy had hard work. He had all the key elements of greatness. Work, hard work ethic, drive. Think about this, y'all. Diddy's doing all these free calls for days. And this nigga still got energy to go to the studio, go to all his meetings, do all his work. This nigga wasn't operating on no sleep. And remember when everybody was like, yo, Ticket, man, why you don't get no sleep? Nigga, because I have drive, motivation. I get 4-5 hours sleep. That's all I need. It's mental toughness. You can program yourself. So that's when you see all these people that was working all these hours. And this dude was like, he told Diddy's lawyer, he's like, yo, I'm sharp. He said, yo, I'm working 20 hours, 4 hours of sleep. I'm ready to roll. Diddy hired all these smart people, highly intelligent, sharp. You had to be that way to be around Diddy because you're doing appointments. You're doing all these different things. You have all these different responsibilities. You're not fit to be around Diddy if you're a slouch and don't know how to do your work. The problem is that now when you go against these people, they're smart. They're all those things that made you hire them. So now when it's you or me, I told y'all, they said, Diddy, I'm not going to prison for 10 to 15 years for you, bro. You're going to do this one on your own. And every last one of them going to get up there and snitch. So when I told y'all this, and everybody, all them niggas trying to say I'm hating, no, nigga. I'm smarter than you, nigga. I'm not no idiot. I'm not no dummy. I don't get caught up in stupid semantics, nigga. And Diddy is a scumbag, walking sleazebag, scum of the earth type of nigga because you would treat the people that's around you like shit. And you don't do that. The people out here busting their ass, supporting you, trying to help you be great, you treat them well. But what did Diddy do? Beating people up, dragging people down the hallway, choking girls out, giving girls concussions with hangers, punching Cassie a hole in Cassie's eye, kicking her in her ass, dragging girls up the stairs, dragging them down the hallway, throwing hot skillets at them. This is all the way he treating people, blowing up people's cars allegedly. So at some point in time, people feel animosity. Allegedly not paying people what you owe them. So now it comes back. What goes around comes around. And now all these people that you had working all these hours and shit, now they're going to get up on the stand. And so even if Don Richard was nervous yesterday, the scales are going to balance out because there's going to be so many people that work for you, that testify against you. That jury over there is going to say guilty. And that judge, he don't like you at all. He giving you life, nigga. And that's why I said what I said. Why? Because I dared to sit in here and tell y'all day after day after day, I read the paperwork. And we still ain't got to that. We still ain't got to that. See, this is the type of stuff I'm talking about. So this dude who was sharp, hard work. Think about this. You got guys working 20-hour shifts for you, 3 straight weeks without no days off, and happily doing their job. Man was getting paid $70,000. That's it. Crazy work. People busting their ass off, and you the one that's making all the multi-millions. And you out here hitting people with chairs on TV, beating people up, punching girls, locking girls in the car allegedly. All these things he's been accused of. And then everybody runs around here and act like they brain dead and don't understand what the hell's going on. I thought this was about sex trafficking because you have a small mind and you haven't read all the charges. Sex trafficking is just one of the charges. Transportation, solicitation of prostitution is another one of the charges. But the biggest charge is the racketeering. And the racketeering comes everything. And in a federal court, they only have to prove 2 instances of the racketeering in a 10-year period. And you're toast. This is the reason why I said what I said. And you have all these people that's on YouTube running around here, don't know what the hell they talking about. And when Diddy gets light, then we run around here screaming like, man, they did him wrong. No, you guys just didn't understand. And now the feds are starting to open up that can of whoop ass on you. And that's going to be the bottom line. Because the government said so. Sean Diddy Combs brought forth his own demise. You mistreat people. You got people busting their ass working all these hours for you. You abusing people. You allegedly recording people. You using those recordings against people. People are not going to like that. Now they get ready to put Cassie's mama on the stand. You know what that's going to do? That's going to bring down all of that animosity and energy that was coming from the state, the Cassie testimony. Because when her mama get up there, her mama going to be cool, calm, and collected. And what's the jury going to do? They're going to listen to her mama. Your mama get up there, and your mama get to talking. Man, and notice how the feds did it. The feds are smart as hell. They didn't put her mama up there right after she got off the stand. Nope. They let that shit cool down for a few days with Cassie. Then they put the mom on the stand. Right? Right? Somebody say a juror whispered at Don's lie. Doesn't matter. The juror's not going to be able to whisper that all these other people are lying. And so she might not have lied. She might have misspoke, or she might have said something that she didn't say. But guess what? Diddy's lawyers didn't deny any of it. And now, once you see all these other people they got, man, it's about to be BET Rap City. It's about to be a rap for the kids. Once you see all these other people they got. Diddy's lawyer said, I have a few more mundane questions. David James says, I love mundane questions. David James is at his helmet. Diddy's lawyer says, where did you travel with Mr. Combs? David James says he traveled over there to Spain, so he went to Ibiza, London, St. Tropez. Diddy's lawyer said, were these vacations? David said it was business oriented. Diddy's lawyer says, what were you hired as? David James says a personal liaison, but I was a personal assistant. Diddy's lawyer said he met a high-level roster of people. David James says second understatement of the day. Diddy's lawyer says why? David James said he met with a who's who. Diddy's lawyer said it was important that he be prepared for these meetings, right? David James said yes. Diddy's lawyer said it was important that he be on time. David James said no. We changed meetings to fit his schedule all the time. When he didn't want to show up at a certain time, he's cooking Diddy's lawyer on the stand, absolutely annihilating him. And guess what? The feds, boy, they know what they're doing. The witnesses they had that they felt like, look, we can use them because you might think they're shaky at first. Don, Richard, Cassie, all these other people. Cool, no problem. We're going to bring the hardcore witnesses up late. So that's the last thing the jurors going to remember is that you was getting your ass burnt up. And now these hardcore witnesses, you're not ending with witnesses who have shaky or people who can get tested. Now you have hardcore witnesses. The jurors are going to remember that. The jurors are going to look like, damn, they just confirmed everything those other people were saying. So even though Diddy's and them did all that work to say these other people had inconsistencies in their stories and this, that, and the third, well, guess what? These other people don't came back. All that was in your organization and confirmed everything they said. Case closed. Life. I wonder, will it take me under? I don't know. I told y'all this. The feds knew exactly how they was going to line this up. That's why they had to line up the way it is. That's just the way it is. Things will never be the same. See, Diddy allegedly was using the videotapes he had of these people at his parties and all these things against them. It backfired. It backfired. Smash the like button, share, and subscribe. Shout out to Latoya with another $20 donation in the Cash App. And she says, Tiki, you go to that dish. Salute to you, sister. I appreciate it. No, I do what I can do when I can do it. You understand what I'm saying? I said, I do what I can do when I can do it. I'm a G at this. Believe that. You understand what I'm saying? Shout out to James in the Cash App with the donation. Salute to you, my brother. Appreciate it. Shout out to Ahava in the Cash App with a donation. Salute to you. Appreciate it. Much love to you. Much love to you. This dude right here, and I'm gonna tell y'all something, man. It's sad what's going on with Diddy, because Diddy a hard worker, bro. Hard worker, bro. You know what I'm saying? Diddy, man, put a lot of time in, man. You know what I'm saying? Hard worker, put in a lot of time. You know what I mean? I gotta salute. I have to literally, salute the work ethic, but Diddy made all the wrong choices, man. He destroyed his own empire with the foolishness, man. You don't get as far as Diddy got without working hard, busting your ass. This dude was working hard from the very beginning. He just let all the foolishness come in and destroy his entire everything he worked for. He even had all these people around him working hard, busting their ass. And they were doing it. They were doing it. They were doing it. That's crazy. Right? So we go on, you guys. We move on. Right? So, yeah, man. This is looking real shaky right now for y'all boy. Real shaky, man. He's in for it. He's definitely in for it right now. And the internet's going nuts on this thing. Internet's going nuts. And everybody, I have some breaking news for you guys. Diddy just hired another lawyer. God, dog, this nigga getting desperate, bro. This man just hired another lawyer. Diddy just hired a 10th lawyer, y'all. This nigga just hired a 10th lawyer. His name is Jonathan Batch. That's crazy work. This dude getting nervous, bro. This nigga gonna have 20 lawyers. Diddy just hired a 10th lawyer just now. Breaking news. This nigga know he going to prison for life. He panicking, bro. This nigga just hired a 10th lawyer. The lawyer's name is Jonathan Batch. Crazy work. You gonna hire 10 lawyers? Man, he putting all his chips. He like, man, come on, man. Y'all, he should have took the plea deal. I told y'all. He'd have had 15 and been out to see about another 8 years if he lucky. Now, nigga ain't never gonna get out ever again. Oop. That shit crazy. Because when you go against the grain and you don't take that plea, man, that judge gonna hit you with the hammer, man. Period. He gonna hit you with a all world sledgehammer. Straight like that. So Diddy's lawyer says, right? He had security because people wanted to touch him, right? David James said, yeah, people wanted to get at Diddy's in the airport, at McDonald's. Diddy's lawyer said, was he gracious? David James says, man, I don't think gracious is a word I use for Sean Combs. He destroying this nigga. Diddy's lawyer have nothing. They got nothing. They got no, see, this is what happens when you hire good people who are hard workers. They got nothing on this dude. They got no criminal history. Think about this. All these people that's testifying, the feds are smart. They ain't coming with no criminal history, nothing. No, oh, well, you did this in your past. None of this shit. They have nothing. Crickets. This man up here asking this man, oh, well, Diddy's gracious, right? He said, man, I wouldn't use gracious and Sean Combs in the same sentence ever. Diddy's lawyer says, did he sign autographs? David James said, nope. He's destroying this nigga. Destroying him on the stand right now. How in the hell is the dude that's getting in church? Diddy's probably heated. That's why he hired a 10th lawyer right now. Diddy looking at Mark and Clifford like, man, what the hell is you doing? Diddy literally just hired another lawyer, bro. Diddy gonna fire this motherfucker. Bro, he getting torched. This dude right here, bro, the feds do what they was doing. They put the weak stuff up first. And they come with the strong stuff in the end. Man, and the strong is going to solidify the weak because now all them people who thought these other people were discredited, nope. These people will now be all credited because these other people, they're not going to lay down like that. They going hard to paint. So that's how the feds lined it up. The feds smart as hell, bro. They said, yo, we're going to put it like this. We're going to bring out weak stuff first. And then we coming with the heavy hardcore. That's why I was telling people, like, y'all think the feds came with everything? These people thought, y'all think that these people predictable and came with everything, ain't got nothing about. No, they come with the soft stuff first, and then they come with the hard stuff later. Because they want to end up and make sure you are demolished when they finish with you. Diddy's lawyer up here talking about, well, isn't Diddy a good person? He's like, no, he's not. He said, did he sign autographs? He said, nope. He said, man, he ain't sign autographs, nothing, man. Bro, this all they got? Crickets, nigga. Crickets. Now they telling you how they really feel about this guy. They telling you how they really feel. It's crazy. Crazy. Y'all crazy as hell, man. Yeah, man, this is embarrassing, bro. For a lawyer to get done like this, I ain't never seen a lawyer get done like this on the stand ever. Bro, I'm talking about like systematically broken down. And the dude ain't even being aggressive. He not being volatile. There's no objections. They ain't even, look, the government's not even throwing no objections. They just let them go one-on-one. No objections, nothing. Like just barbecue his ass. They say, yo, you want the one-on-one? Get the one-on-one. If I was Diddy's lawyer, I'd say, man, no further questions, man. And sit my ass down, man. You just take your ass whooping, dog. Take your ass whooping today, dog. Take your ass whooping, dog. Because you got one, bro. You got one. Diddy got 10 lawyers. Bro, this man just hired a 10th lawyer right now during the case. This is crazy. He just hired a 10th lawyer. Oh, bro, they taking all this man money, bro. Diddy don't see this. They taking all his defense money. You know how much money these lawyers are making by the hour? That's crazy. Diddy's probably going crazy because he's used to all his life getting whatever he wanted. So now that he see this thing going left in court and he see all these witnesses are getting on the stand telling him about who he really is, man, that nigga going crazy. That nigga's like, man, he probably snapping in the background. Boy, I'd love to be a fly on the wall in those private meetings. He probably going crazy on his lawyers. He probably choking his lawyers in the law room. I wouldn't be surprised, choked out Brian Steele and all of them. Telling y'all this. What y'all doing, man? You got to get me out of here. They ain't got nothing. Diddy, you hire good people. You hire good people. And see, I'm going to tell you something why Diddy was smart and stupid. Diddy hired good people because nobody was suspected this dude was doing crime. Nobody. So you sending him to go make buys and stuff like that and go get you drugs. Ain't nobody finna suspect that he's in doing. So Diddy did that. That was smart. But that was stupid because in the end, when you do get caught, he's gonna snitch. He ain't doing no time for you, dog. He's gonna rat. So, I mean, win-lose situation, bro. You get caught, you lose. Point blank, period. That's crazy, man. He's smoking this dude, bro. How is he destroying this guy on the stand like that? That's crazy work, bro. Diddy's lawyer out here getting cooked on the stand, bro. I don't even think he got no more questions, bro. I don't even think he got no more questions. This is what happens when you treat people bad, man. God don't like ugly, bro. That's why y'all don't see none of Diddy's. Why is none of Diddy's artists up there supporting him? None. None of the artists that are still alive are up there at the courthouse supporting Diddy. At all. That speaks volumes, man. When you got niggas on YouTube that don't even know this nigga, but your own people are not even supporting you. People that you have worked with for years. Not one. I ain't seen one. Think about that. That speaks volumes about who you are as a person, your character, the people who really know you. Everybody's tired of this dude. All the people that worked around this guy, sacrificed for this guy, showed this guy immense levels of love and honor, tried to help this guy. Yolanda, salute to you again in Cash App. The donation came through with another $50 donation. She said, keep cooking, ticket. The stove is on hot. And y'all smash the like button. Share and subscribe to the channel. Because the cook is unbelievable. And the stove is on hot. And I told y'all this. And then they got Cassie's mama coming up next. Man. And you can't put Brian Steele up there with Cassie's mom. Nope. Because it's going to make y'all look like y'all bullying women. They're going to have to put a soft touch up there with Cassie's mom. Diddy's team whole game plan was wrong. They should have never took this to trial, bro. They should have pled out, took the 15, because you knew everybody was snitching. You knew you was going to have to discredit all these people, bro. It wasn't going to happen, bro. And that's why I try to tell people, man, it's not these people going to give you up, man. This man had put you in on drug buys. All that stuff goes right under the RICO, man. He going to prison, bro. Now, all them people who saying I don't see RICO, watch them people today. Watch them people after this week. Crickets. Every last one of them. After this week, crickets. They're going to be talking about how much of a dummy Diddy was. And then I've been saying this from the beginning, how much of a damn fool Diddy is. And everybody was getting mad at me for telling the truth. But now after this, when they see how much of a damn fool this guy was, they're going to be coming back saying the same thing, man, this nigga an idiot. Nigga, I told you that from the beginning, but you demonized me. You demonized me for telling the truth. I told you the dude was a piece of shit. None of those people who support work, none of these artists, none of them, nobody's up there at the courthouse supporting this dude. Nobody. This dude was with everybody, bro. That just go to let y'all know. Don't nobody like that nigga. That's crazy work. You would think even one day, you got people that didn't even work with Diddy, don't know Diddy, ain't been around Diddy, that support him. But the people who was with him all the time can't stand that dude and will not, refuse to even want to be mentioned with him. And y'all seeing this. So Diddy's lawyer says, you said he stayed in the studio until 3 or 4 a.m. Did you stay with him? David James says, yes, it's common. Diddy's lawyer said, what sort of things would he want to always have with him? David James said he always wanted ketchup, for an example. Diddy's lawyer said, did you know he put applesauce on cheeseburgers? What the hell is Diddy's lawyer asking? David James says, no, but I knew he liked applesauce. Diddy's lawyer said he liked Astroglide, condoms, baby oil. But you didn't expense it through the business? David James said, usually not. Bro, these cook, bro. Bro, they don't even have, bro, Diddy's lawyer, let me tell y'all something. These lawyers have, this man up here asking this man about applesauce, bro. Case closed. I told y'all this nigga going to prison. Niggas ain't want to listen to me, bro. This is why I am the man. The best there is, the best there ever was, and the best there ever will be, nigga. You know what I'm saying? This is why. Now, please, somebody, go find that buck dancing, sellout, shucking and jiving bookman and tell him I said, kiss the ring, bitch ass nigga. Kiss the ring. Straight like that. And that's all there is to it. I'm on one. I'm on one. See, what happens is you run out of lies, boy. You run out of fake, the truth behinds and all these other things. It's over with. It's a wrap. The jig is up. Right? The jig is up, baby boy. Right? Somebody said, who is Bookman? He's a nobody, a hating ass, capping ass, jealous ass, envious ass. Right? He's a nobody. Period. You understand what I'm saying? Go along, get along ass. Yeah. And I want all smoke. Come on now. See how I come cooking? I come cooking all world level. How they gonna come out here and say this dude's like, Diddy's lawyers ain't got nothing on this dude, bro. You better believe they scraped his background. They went and looked through all of his history. They couldn't find nothing on this guy, bro. I'm telling you, bro. Notice that they have not went against none of these other people's criminal histories. None of it. They haven't talked about criminal history. They haven't talked about, now they might do it for some people, but they ain't talking about with him. They haven't talked about none of this stuff. Like they haven't been able to say, hey man, you're a liar or you're this, you're that, as far as, you know, your personal life or you, nope. They're saying, oh, well, you didn't say this in one of the affidavits of this. Nah, man, that ain't gonna work. Cause you guys you guys are not, and how am I saying it? You guys are not seeing what the truth is. And the truth is all these dudes got Diddy on the grill, nigga. That's the truth. He on the grill. Yeah, y'all smash the like button. This what and subscribe to the channel. This is what happens when you extra cook like I cook. Yeah, smash the like button, y'all. Hey, hold on. If y'all ain't subscribed, subscribe to the channel right now. Hit the like button, man. Come on, man. What's up, man? Y'all getting real cooking over here. I ain't lying to you. These are all the things that these people said Diddy been doing for years. But people want to ignore them. Talking about people hate. It's going to get uglier than this.
Stuff, yo, that's kind of disrespectful. So when you get, that's called the test off. How you make sure you breaking in. Yo, call the artist up here to the room, tell him I'm going to have a meeting by my tub. He be in there by the tub and stuff, soaking and stuff. Butt ass naked. You be like, how the hell I'm supposed to have a meeting with a nigga butt naked in the tub?
Nah, man, come back, man. Let me know when you're presentable. That, and then freak off parties, man, listen. I'm not an angel. I ain't never did nothing morally incorrect, but I definitely not. The girls definitely have my share of pretty women and being famous. It just came with the life. But also what came with it was a lesson. Also what came with it was, you know what, you can't keep doing the same thing over and over and over again and still expect to find somebody to truly love you. That right there, those kind of parties kept me from finding somebody who really cared about me. And it took me to leave those kind of parties, those kind of people, all that energy alone, just to even better understand me. That's what I did. That's where I've been. That's why I totally vanished from everything and say, you know, I'm going to be a better man, a stronger man. And that's what I recommended that he do. I'd be like, bro, it's time for you to be a stronger, a bigger person. But he still wanted to remain minute. And that's what's happening to him today. Shit.
Yeah, that's wild, man. Him opening up the door naked, man. That's weird behavior.
Yeah. Anytime a man's naked around you and they feel comfortable with being naked around you, you know what I'm saying? You be like, something ain't right, man. What do you know what I mean? You know I knocked on the door. You knew it was another dude at the door. Like when I knocked, you know what I'm saying? Then you just go open the door, come on in. Walking with his butt out. You know, nah, I just closed the door. I see you later, bro. I guess y'all not ready for the day.
Crazy work, man. And this type of stuff people were subjected to. And you see this type of stuff, man, it's disgusting, bro. That people were subjected to this type of foolishness, man. People were subjected to these type of acts. You understand what I'm saying? It's just nasty, bro. But David James says, I told him, he said, I was told that he didn't want to run them through the company, right? Meaning the expenses. Now, let me say this again, because this dude is cooking Diddy's lawyer, y'all. Diddy's lawyer says that Diddy like Astroglide, condoms, and baby oil. He said, but you didn't expense that through the business? David James said, usually not. I was told that he didn't want to run them through the company. He didn't want a record of them. He's toast. He is cooking this nigga on the stand. Diddy's lawyer says, when you brought the 8-ball of the cocaine on St. Tropez, right? You didn't tell Mr. Combs, did you? He says he was asleep. So now he's saying that this dude bought an 8-ball. He said he bought an 8-ball. Boy, Diddy got these dudes. So this dude, he never had no drug dealers until he get twisted up with Diddy. Now all of a sudden he out here with 8 balls. That's crazy, bro. Now you out here buying 8. He get around Diddy, y'all. They riding around strapped up on missions. He buying 8 balls, all kind of stuff. He get around Diddy. Man, come on, man. They finna hit this nigga with a whole new drug charge. That's crazy. He got a lawyer up here asking this man about an 8-ball, man. Come on, man. If I was Diddy, man, y'all know how mad Diddy. Y'all know how mad Diddy gotta be right now, man. Do y'all not know how bad he gotta be? Sterling, salute to you in the Cash App with a $100 donation, man. Shout out to Sterling with $100 in the Cash App, man. Salute to you, man. Hey, he said elite content. Salute to you, brother. I appreciate it, man. Much love to you, dog. Much love to you, man. If y'all, hey, look, and if y'all supporting this channel and they cooking that I'm putting on these dudes, man, hit the Cash App link pinned at the top or the PayPal, man. This is an absolute stir fry. Crazy work. This man, he got this man out here. This man came out here. Now he linked up with Diddy. He out here going on missions, strapped up with guns, buying 8 balls. Come on, man. That's crazy. And this man was a secretary and a personal assistant before he met Diddy. Man, y'all people crazy as hell talking about some where's the RICO. I don't see the racketeering. Man, you finna see it all this week. They finna show it to you all. So Diddy's lawyer says, tell me about your relationship with Roger Bonds. David James said, we talked about Bad Boy as a family. Diddy's lawyer said, what do you mean? David James says, well, Mama Combs Called me her son many times. Now he don't bar Diddy's mama in it. Lord have mercy. Diddy's lawyer said, what was the mission? David James said to make sure he's happy. Dog, that's crazy. That's crazy. Your mission is to make sure he's happy? That's crazy, bro. That is crazy. Unbelievable, man. Unbelievable, man. Bro, he getting cooked, bro. Bro, this man right here cooking, dog. He cooking, bro. So now they talking about Roger Bonds again, bro. And you know Roger Bonds, he got to be one of the snitches. Roger Bonds have to be one of the snitches, bro. That shit's gonna be crazy. Roger Bonds gonna get up there, man. He gonna have to snitch, man. All them dudes took profit agreements, man. All this time, the feds don't ran down on these dudes. And then all them dudes on took agreements to snitch on Diddy. I told y'all, the devil's in the details. The devil's in the details, man. These people done brought up Obama. Now that make me, I got to go back again and watch all of old boys. I got to go back again, you guys, and watch all of old boys' testimony now. I'm talking about Jonathan Odie. I got to watch his whole testimony, right? I got to watch his entire testimony of Jonathan Odie now to see what he was saying again, because this dude don't brought up Obama in this situation name. So now I got to go find out what's going on to it. You know what I'm saying? Crazy work. I got to go find out what's going on. He cooking this dude, man. And he's like in his 50s right now. Man, bro. Crazy work, bro. They done brought up Obama's name in this thing. No, Obama probably salty right now. Obama done went viral. Bro, they talking about, man, bro, that means you bringing up former presidents' names in a court case, bro. Bro, this is why don't nobody like Diddy. Diddy done brought everybody into this situation. Think about this, y'all. This is the reason why don't nobody like Diddy, man. Diddy done brought all these people into this situation, bro. All these people that was chilling, wasn't bothering nobody. All of these people. It's crazy. It's crazy work, bro. And this is the reason why you have this. This is the reason why. Unbelievable stuff, man. Let's keep going, man, because this is absolute stir fry. Bruh's barbecue, man. All right, so Diddy's lawyer says, was it fun? David James said, I enjoyed it from time to time. Diddy's lawyer says, what was your relationship with Chef Jordan? David James says, professional. Diddy's lawyer said, did you choke her? David James says, no. The government says, objection. See, Diddy's lawyer ain't got nothing, so now Diddy's lawyer is trying to put this dude on trial. Diddy's lawyer ain't got nothing. So Diddy's lawyer know that Chef is coming next. He know the Chef is coming. That Chef is coming. Whoever that Chef name is, that Chef is coming. That Chef is coming. That Chef is coming, y'all. Whoever that Chef is, because he's asking him about that Chef right now, so he's worried about that testimony with whoever that Chef is, right? So Diddy's lawyer says, tell me what happened. David James says, Man, we were on Star Island. She told me where to take him. I grabbed her 2 wrists and said, stay in your effing lane. Diddy's lawyer said, was there a fallout? David James says it was reported to corporate HQ, and Mr. Combs called me in. Right? And you got a black chef. That's crazy, bro. You got a black chef, a beautiful black chef, beautiful lady that's out here getting choked out allegedly by Diddy. Because they said that Diddy allegedly assaulted her too. That's crazy work. And I'm going to show y'all this. So everybody that's keep talking this shit, I'm going to put this on the screen to show y'all, man. And when y'all see this, I want to see if niggas going to keep the same energy, bro. And this is the reason why I say what I say about this nigga, man. Because when she get on the stand, nigga, it's going to get ugly. Trust nobody. Now, let me put her picture up here. Because I got to show y'all this shit, man. This shit is diabolical, man. It's diabolical, my nigga. Diabolical, bro. Let me put her up here on the screen. Hold on, y'all. Wait till y'all see the chef. There ain't no way in hell, bro. That nigga Diddy is a demon. He's a demon. Now, let me see if I can get this on the screen. Because I want y'all to see this. I want y'all to see this, bro. This is embarrassing, man. This is embarrassing for the culture, bro. This is embarrassing for the culture, y'all. Let's put this up here. All right? All right, let's put it up here. Let me see. Now, this is a picture of the chef that's going to be coming up, y'all. And the word is Diddy abused and assaulted her too. Come on, man. Y'all did, like I said, bro, that's crazy work, man. Come on, man. What we doing, bro? What we doing, man? Oh, she can't even do her job, bro? Without getting choked out, bro? That shit is crazy work, bro. Crazy work. Now look at her, bro. Look at her, man. Well, we talking about morals and ethics, man. Morals and ethics, y'all. Right? So David James, and check this out, y'all. David James say that he got into it with the chef, right? He said they were on Star Island, and she told David James where to take him. David James say, man, I grabbed her 2 wrists and said, stay in your effing lane. Diddy's lawyer said, was there fallout? Now listen to how much of a hypocrite piece of shit Diddy is. David James says it was reported to the corporate headquarters. Diddy called me in. David James say, Diddy told him, man, you can't be putting your hands on women. He told me to give her a gift. This nigga Diddy told David James that he can't be putting his hands on women. Bro, that nigga's going to hell, bro. Diddy's lawyer says, well, what did you give her? David James said, man, I rolled up a blunt and gave it to her. He rolled up a blunt and gave it to this chef, y'all. Diddy's lawyer said, did she like it? David James said it appears she did. Bro, the man sat up there and said, Diddy told him. Period. Bro, this shit crazy, man. It's crazy, bro. It's crazy, man. Unbelievable stuff, man. And then check this out, y'all. Check this out, y'all. And then it says, right? It says, Diddy's lawyer says, well, you were in a car with Diddy and who else? RIP to this dude. Another celebrity's name come up. He said, Chris Lighty, RIP to Chris Lighty. Damn. He says, Diddy's lawyer said, have you taken X? He said, I'd party, sure. Diddy's lawyer said, what were the things like in the studio? Drugs? David James said, yes, it's a creative environment. Bro, why did they bring up Chris Lighty's name in this? For what? Why did Diddy's lawyer asked him, who was you in the car with Diddy? Like, why would you do that knowing that Chris Light's name would come up? That, like, the man's not here no more. Make that make sense. Bro, this case is crazy, man. Everybody's name coming. You starting to see all these people whose names on this list, bro. They naming all these celebrities' names getting put in this stuff. It's just crazy work, man. All because of Diddy. Because Diddy can't keep his hands off women. Because Diddy can't respect people and keep his hands to himself. It's crazy. It's crazy, y'all. Absolute insanity. And y'all watching it in front of the world. Man, it's sad, bro. It's sad, too. So it goes on to say, David James says, I didn't smoke when I was working with Diddy. Diddy's lawyer said, but he caught you smoking once. David James said, I thought he was in for the light. I lit up. He came out. He said, what are you doing? I said, nothing. Bro, Diddy's lawyer, bro. This is crazy. He's up here talking about applesauce, rolling up blunts. Bro, what's wrong with these people, man? Boy, these people crazy as hell, man. Man, dog. This shit going left, man. This shit about to go left, man. Because them other people that's coming up there, I don't know what type of order. I know they're supposed to have Cassie's mom coming up here. But this order looking real suspect for Diddy, man. Bro, they don't got Obama in this thing, man. That's crazy work, dog. That you got Obama being mentioned in this thing, man. That's like, dog, man. Y'all don't went and brought up Obama? Wow. That's all I can really say. Man, bro. Man. Hold on one second, y'all. Let me see what they talking about. So then David James says, right, that Diddy said, if you're man enough to smoke, you man enough to tell me. He said, I said, okay, I'm smoking. He said, if I did it again, he'd fire me. Diddy's lawyer says, how about when you picked up 2 prostitutes and had sex with one of them? The government says, objection, 403. The judge says, overruled. James says, she asked for $200. I called Roger Bonds and asked, what the hell? She asked to take a shower. I said, that's $200? Everybody started laughing in the courtroom. Diddy's lawyer said, man, on that note, man, no further questions, man. This dude got everybody laughing in the courtroom. He said, man, she asked for $200. I called Roger Bonds and asked, man, what the hell? She asked to take a shower. I said, yeah, that's $200. He said he charged her $200 to take a shower. Man, bro, they out of here, bro. Diddy's lawyers, them, they got nothing, man. These mofos got a nothing burger. The whole courtroom broke out of laughter when this dude said that. That dude cooked their ass, man. Man, Diddy's lawyer said, man, no further questions, man. Bro, that's crazy, bro. This dude got the whole courtroom laughing. He was like, man, she asked for $200, man. He said, I called Roger Bonds and asked, man, what the hell? It said, man, she asked to take a shower, man. I said, man, that's $200. You want to take a shower? No, man. Whole courtroom bust out in laughter. And Diddy's lawyer was like, man, on another note, man, there ain't no further questions, man. Man, this is crazy work, y'all. I try to tell y'all, man. So they're going to redirect. So the government comes back, and now they're redirecting now. So the government says, well, what about the incident in Alpine, New Jersey? Now, David James says to file a police report, right, and say that Chef Jordan had been the aggressor, but I didn't file it. I drove around and told him I made the report. Bro, this shit is crazy, man. Everything getting, a lot of stuff getting exposed, man. Bro, yeah, he got a report, bro. The whole courtroom's laughing, bro. This dude was like, bro, she charged me $200, man. I called Roger Bonds, like, bro, she charged me $200, man. He's like, man, and then she asked to take a shower. Yeah, that's $200 for you take that shower. Dog, this is crazy, bro. Crazy, man. Bro, Diddy's lawyers, they don't have nothing because Diddy's lawyers never thought that these people be snitching. They're coming in and telling you that Diddy. See, this is the thing. Diddy's lawyers can't use any of the stuff they have got on these dudes as far as videos because that would prove the blackmail. They're done. Diddy's lawyers literally cannot use any of the stuff they got on him because that would prove that Diddy was blackmailing them. So if they were saying, yo, we got videos of you committing crimes, they can't do that because that would prove that Diddy used those videos, had those videos, and used them to blackmail these people. So Diddy's lawyers have no line of contesting these people like that. The only thing they can try and do is trap you and say, oh, well, you didn't say this exactly in the words. Man, they can't do nothing else. They literally have been handicapped because Diddy has been accused of threatening people and using videotapes to hold it over people, right? He's been accused of that. So if they come out and say, hey, man, we got you on tape right here, you know what I'm saying? Man, that's going to prove every other thing the government's been saying. That Diddy used videos and all this other stuff to threaten these people and hold these people hostage. It's over with. It's over with, man. He go ahead, pack it on up, man. It's a wrap, bro. Put this nigga, put him in there for prison for life. The government says, what have we asked you to do? David James said, y'all asked me to tell the truth. Government says nothing further. Boy, this nigga cooking Diddy's lawyer. Cooking. He said, man, y'all ain't told me to do nothing but tell the truth. So Diddy's lawyer says on the recross, he says, you lied to Mr. Combs about filing a police report. David James said, yes. Diddy's lawyer said nothing further. Can we have a break real quick? Bro, these people crazy as hell, man. So the man basically said he didn't file a police report on the woman because he didn't want to lie. And then he says, you lied to Diddy. Yeah, you lied to Diddy because he's afraid Diddy's probably going to fire him or beat his ass. So we got another witness coming in, you guys. And so I'll be right back. We're going to get the stream ready for the next witness. This witness absolutely annihilated. And I mean annihilated Diddy. And he solidified all the things Cassie was saying pretty much. And he solidified. This dude right here put the sex worker in the room with Cassie because he said the sex worker had a BBC, which is a big one. He also linked Diddy to the drugs because he said he was buying the drugs for Diddy and was reimbursed by Bad Boy, meaning that the RICO is saying that Diddy uses businesses to hide his crimes, which they use money from Bad Boy, right? He admitted that, right? He also put the guns and the violence and the aggression in Diddy's hand because he talked about how they went and rolled up on Suge Knight, strapped, right? This dude don't gave up a whole lot of different elements. And then all the stuff he said yesterday, too. Yeah, bro. It's over with, man. Just one guy right here. Then you got the whole courtroom laughing with you, bro. Bro, that nigga going to prison, bro. I'm telling you this. They ain't going to believe him. So we'll be right back. Y'all come right back in here. We're going to get the stream set up for whoever the next witness is. We're going right to that. Salute to everybody that donated to the stream, man. I appreciate y'all. The link is pinned at the top of the comment section, man. Let me know what y'all feel.
All right, you guys. So we appreciate everybody that popped in, supported this video. Make sure that you guys shop our merch. We got that new A-Weapons merchandise right there below this video. All you got to do is look below. The links will be pinned at the top of the comment section as well to get the merch, to donate, support the channel, and subscribe to our podcast show. You'll see all those links pinned at the top of the comment section of this video. And we appreciate everybody that supports this channel and our networks. Also, that straight drop weight loss formula. Go to the website. You guys will see that. A link for that will be pinned at the top of the comment section as well. Go right there for all of your weight loss needs. Straight drop weight loss formula. We have a lot of testimonials on the website. You can go to www.str-8-drop.com and get you some of the weight loss formula today. Take your weight loss serious. Get in the gym, work out, exercise, and do what you got to do to stay on point. We appreciate everybody that's been locked into this video. Again, all the links are pinned at the top of the comment section below. Salute to all of y'all. And again, we appreciate everybody who support what we doing over here.